Yes.
Okay. So let me see. Let me put this up here. All right. On 1, 2, 3, clap. Everyone just clap.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, clap.
That's
Oh, that was terrible. That was actually
We're all
terrible.
gonna be out of sync. I don't know what your idea of
Well,
that
it's 'cause when
working
you guys
is.
hear me, you guys clap, and I can line that up.
There's
there.
gonna
It's
be a
supposed to
delay.
lining up when we're talking
There's
about.
gonna be delay with the video and everything. It's not gonna be instant for all of us.
I have wide strides when I clap.
All right.
It takes
Let's,
me long.
I think it's the way we're gonna.
All right,
do it
1,
now.
2, 3, clap.
I'm trying.
Ah,
Well, okay.
fuck
Well,
up.
you're trying to record through Skype, so you want me to record my audio through Skype and then record this and then line up myself because I'm editing it. That's why I'm telling you.
I could just send you the Skype audio.
I don't want. No, I'm not trying to look at the Skype audio. I want to record the audio directly from each of us.
I get that, but what I'm saying is use the Skype audio to determine when people are talking, so you can just line all the Audacity, I guess MP3s or 4s or whatever. No, it'd be 3. 4 is a video file. MP3s together.
I guess I'll do it that way. I don't know if it's gonna work out that well, but I'll do it that way.
We can do clapping if you like.
We'll try it. We'll try it.
Clap you got.
All right.
Just say you
Kyle,
want to clap.
ready?
yes.
All
All
right.
right, go for it.
We clap.
You do the countdown.
Can I clap?
All right, Gor. Hey, Gor. All right,
I want to clap now.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. I'm Adrian. That's Gor.
Hey, what's up?
That's Casey.
Hello.
Kyle's somewhere in the dark.
Yeah, he's in the darkness somewhere.
In the
Hi.
dark abyss of
Hi. Sounds just as creepy as someone that just stays in the
like a Reaper.
Oh yeah,
Alright,
just,
we're done.
just like Reaper. Video game reference immediately in our movie podcast.
Sounds like the fucking naked guy from Prodigy.
Oh hell yeah, hot.
Speaking of Prodigy, on the docket today is Serenity, Fyre, Prodigy, and we're gonna mention non-spoilers because 2 of us watched the Lego Movie already. For trailer-wise, we're gonna talk Endgame, Hobbs Shaw, Child's Play, and Aladdin, and then we're gonna talk about some box office stuff. Not in that order.
Not no.
Not in the
Actually,
order to
start-
spend
almost
10
the
minutes
exact
trying to
opposite.
figure out.
Yeah, I went kind of all over the place actually.
So we're gonna start with trailers first off. There've been 4 big trailers recently. One that came out
There were
tonight as of recording.
There
were
were
more. We just
The big ones we care about a lot.
Yeah.
there were more. It's just these are the ones we chose.
like the ones
There
we're
were
not
big-
watching. We didn't watch. Well, I didn't, but I don't know if you guys did. But we're not gonna talk about Captain Marvel.
A Dog's
Yeah.
Journey.
That's
Dog's
Yeah.
Journey.
yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Dog's Journey. Come on.
And we're
man.
not
me
talking
too.
about us.
Yes.
We're not talking about us.
No.
Or Pet Cemetery.
Shit, I'm dropping cans.
But yeah. So what do you guys want to start out with?
Let's start with Endgame.
I don't care.
I don't care. You just said that 'cause that's the first poster he has up.
Don't.
That
give
is
a
very
shit.
true. Endgame, although I'm pretty sure it was the first one out of these that was showed. No, it wasn't. Hobbs and Shaw was. But anyways, Avengers Endgame was the big one from the Super Bowl last week.
Easily the biggest one. Everything else is just like,
Yeah.
hey, you want to see Hobbs and Shaw? Except it's a minute. The
Less.
trailer, it's a minute long.
Well, no. Last weekend
see a
it was
Alita battle?
Endgame. It was just Endgame, and then everything else was Jordan Peele.
Yeah, because Twilight Zone. He had fucking
Toy
Yeah,
Story, and yeah.
Us.
and
Oh, I forgot Toy Story had something. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
avoiding that too. I'm trying to watch. I'm trying to like reel back on how many times I watched trailers going into it. I try watching maybe the first one or
Yeah,
two.
the Toy Story's not gonna ruin anything.
Right. And I'm good with Endgame too because they were talking about that being the first 15 minutes of the film.
Right.
So yeah, let's talk Endgame. So that was a minute-long spot, right?
Yep.
I don't see how
No,
that
it was 30 seconds, I think.
30 seconds.
They can afford a minute. Come on, Disney.
Well, I just don't understand. I don't see how that like some of the stuff we saw in there is in the first 20 minutes. So I don't know if I exactly believe that.
I could see like a couple of those shots. So like they had
Like
Thor.
Cap like doing his his shield.
Shield
I don't
thing, yeah.
I could see. Yeah. Well, I'm assuming they mean just like the majority of the long shots because those are really quick cuts.
Yeah, sure. I can see
Yeah,
that.
but also it also looks like a lot of those quick cuts were edited.
Yeah,
Like,
so remember that too.
Like with
There's a
Ant-Man
lot of
and
misdirection.
War Machine, like you could clearly see someone was edited out of the middle.
Sure.
Yeah, so there's a lot of misdirection.
It's
so.
probably
Captain
Iron Man. No, it's probably Iron Man.
Oh,
Because
yeah, that makes
there's
sense.
even a thing where everybody's
Either-
looking up at one point and everybody thinks it's the Iron Man ship with with what's her name?
It's
Nebula.
either her or either him or the Pepper Potts rescue armor.
Maybe it's Thanos.
Oh, he's showing up. He's like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
He's-
They had
he
to
shows
they had
up,
to
"Hey,
they had to team up with
Just
Thanos
still-
immediately because the next big villain's already out there. They're like, oh fuck, Thanos, we need you.
Thanos showed up. Was like, hey, I had a birthday party, but only half my friends showed up. I want to undo this. It's not nice.
But yeah, no, not much. I mean, the shot with Cap, both shots where he's like in the, I keep forgetting what they're called, but it looks like it's probably more of a government meeting because it looks like it's probably going to be like maybe kind of like an underground thing where maybe even the guy that was in Civil War that did the whole Sokovia Accords is probably talking to him.
They're gonna go back. They're reaching back to like everything now.
Yeah, and the shot with him, you know, tightening up his buckle, I guess, or his.
There's been a lot of Cap in this, which is nice.
Nice. It's gonna be a Cap movie, like.
Put a cap on that.
But yeah, rock your head back and forth.
Well, the interesting thing is they're making it seem like it doesn't look like which I wouldn't be surprised. It doesn't look like Thanos is going to be a big villain for this.
No, I mean,
he doesn't really need to be a villain. They need to reverse back what he did. What I think is going to happen,
yeah,
I think they're going to
honestly, they're going into. Well, I think they're going into quantum realm. So hopefully they'll do something with Chronopolis.
I think just the big villain stuff is going to be them going back in time and having to reface all that shit.
I don't think so. I don't think
they've always had that stuff talked about, like the Battle of New York going to come back into play and stuff like that.
Well, there's already set photos of that being
right.
replaced.
So I can't like, because wasn't there like rumblings that Quicksilver was going to be in here too?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could.
Yeah, but with like the quantum realm, there's the city of Chronopolis.
I don't think they're going to.
That's like a big.
They're not going to spend too much time in there, especially when you got Ant-Man already out of there.
He'll probably be in there for a quick minute.
Well, the thing is, Chronopolis has a lot to do with time travel. Like every block of the city is a different time period stolen at a time, so that could easily fall into the plot.
I guess. I don't.
They're just
It's a
gonna do.
big
Ant-Man
place for-
figured it out.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't see them introducing a whole new villain aspect when we still got the biggest villain so far in the series. On top of them having to reverse everything, and still bring back all this other stuff going on.
Yeah,
So I think that's a lot.
You need something there, not just undoing stuff. Because because Thanos did what he's gonna do. He's not gonna fight too hard because he's like, all right, I already did what I wanted, and basically too hurt to do anything at this point anyway.
Well, actually, just
I
one
think he should
second.
be able to fight.
Just 1 second. Kyle, what do you think about this?
I don't
What'd
know
you
what
tell
the
me?
fuck you're talking about. All I
Young guy,
see
if
is all I see
Where do you
is
think it's gonna go?
I think Grimace with the oven mat is gonna do some
the oven
some
mat,
bad
yeah.
stuff.
If you're gonna make a joke, why don't you pronounce them right? With that oven
The
mat.
oven mitt?
You said oven mat. Yeah,
Whatever.
Whatever. The oven mitt. Stealing jokes from regular media. But all right, so
I don't know. I don't see them going because it's they're like saying it's going to be a 3-hour movie, and they're also talking about putting intermission in there.
I'm sure Kyle will really like that.
I'm not gonna watch it.
I'll enjoy it. Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to watch it.
You know what? Hey, Kyle, I'm gonna say this right here. You're gonna love this movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm predicting it right now.
Put money on it.
Put a dollar.
Don't forget his review of Infinity War was, "Oops, I accidentally liked this film."
No, actually, I think he hated
Oh,
it.
I did not like it.
No,
Like-
that's the review.
That was Deadpool 2. I was like, fuck. I guess I liked it.
There you go. Yeah, it was Deadpool too.
Oh, okay.
Infinity War is like, I'm tired of this fucking McDonald's brand fucking
I
bullshit.
think no McDonald's
garbage.
brand. What the fuck? How many McDonald's toys? do you
Most
see?
polished fucking generic superhero nonsense around.
No, it's
I mean,
not.
you can just justify it by saying you don't like superhero movies. You don't have to try.
I
and,
like
make it
Spider-Man
the
a
whole
lot.
Sophisticated thing.
There are 4 Spider-Man movies I like. There are Batman movies I like.
Why? You like more Spider-Man movies than I do, apparently.
Yeah, I do.
He likes the first 3 a lot.
You're dumb.
And Spider-Verse is good too.
I like the first 3 a lot also.
When's the last time you watched the first Spider-Man movies?
Last
think he
year.
just-
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
The
can
great
answer
fucking
his,
movies.
I can answer the questions you ask him for him.
Yeah.
The godfather of superhero movies is Sam Raimi's trilogy.
X-Men.
No.
is that
No,
pedo X-Men man? What's his name?
Ryan
I mean,
Singer.
if you're going there, it would be Tim
Singer.
Burton, but
The
okay.
Rhapsody guy.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody guy. No,
So-
he's not the Bohemian Rhapsody.
I just don't. It's gonna be a 3-hour movie. I don't see them adding too much because they gotta wrap up a lot of stuff, and you gotta remember that we gotta do a lot of send-offs too because this is definitely the end of a lot of shit going on. So I don't see them adding a whole new.
Yeah. Dave
Aspect
Bautista's still
of
be
it.
gone because he keeps talking shit about Disney, so they're gonna kill his ass with a gun.
He's gonna be in
Pick
Suicide
him
Squad
up
though.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be the new Killer Croc.
No, he's gonna be like he's gonna be Chef from South Park, where they gave him the worst death possible because fucking he's talking shit.
So there's
All right.
no way he could ever possibly come back.
All right. So are we good on that?
Pants. While
Yeah.
Got any more notes?
Didn't seem like
Yeah.
there's a whole lot to the trailer itself, right?
Talk 10 minutes about a 30-second.
The trailer looked good. I thought it was. I like they're keeping like the somber tone with it. I know it can't happen because especially with Sony involved. But man, but then again, Disney also kind of shot themselves in the foot with it. It would have been such a fucking relief if they had just like not done any marketing whatsoever for any future movie because we know other stuff's gonna come out.
No marketing.
Because I mean we know Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther 2, and Spider-Man are all coming out after this.
Yeah.
And then we all know, and I hate that's the argument. It's like you don't think they're gonna come back. It's like we all know they're gonna come back. Like literally, no one thinks they're gone.
Well,
But it's nice to have the illusion that hey, we don't actually know what's going forward, and that would have been
Yeah,
nice
but
because Disney's the only one that could do that right now with this big a franchise.
Yeah, but with the stocks and all that stuff, they
Yeah, I know there's
they
other-
had to do it
this-
regardless.
but it sucks because like that. This I thought they were gonna do it too because they even skipped Comic-Con last year, which is that's even big on its own. But it looked like for a while they were gonna do it, but then Sony like they obviously got into a pissing match with Sony because they were gonna put up the Far From Home trailer before the Endgame trailer.
yeah, no,
Disney's like, no, hold up,
no, bro.
chill, bro. We gotta do this
Big
first.
jump all shit out. You better hold on to that.
Yeah,
until next
but it sucks because like
And
even
then-
if like they just and it can't happen because Far From Home comes out what like
Yeah.
3 or 4 months afterwards.
Yeah.
July.
July.
2.
Yep.
Yeah, July 5th. So I think actually 2.
Yeah, so it comes out 2 months after. So I get that they can't hold the trailer that long.
Avengers comes out the end of April, but yeah.
Yeah, so I get that they can't hold the trailer that long, but it would have been cool. Like at least there's no trailers coming out afterwards, and then after Endgame's like, all right, here's all your trailers, go nuts with them. But
Yeah.
I get it, can't happen, but it would have been a cool idea. But whatever.
Can't happen. Stop
Can't happen. But you know what can't happen? Spin-offs. Hobbs and Shaw, baby. Let's talk about that trailer.
What? All right. Here's a
real movie.
What looks like a
Here's a-
fucking new MCU
here's a real
movie.
superhero movie.
Hey,
that's what it is.
we're officially in superhero mode.
Yeah.
There is officially a guy that is bulletproof. That is, I am the bad guy.
He's a
Yeah,
superhuman.
I'm the bad guy.
He's a super
Well,
I
transhuman.
know he is the next level of human evolution.
Well,
All right.
in all defense, I
just saw
don't know if it's actually him. I think it's just the suit he wears.
Well, no,
it's
he
him.
said like they
It's him.
scanned his body while he had no shirt on. He was like, "Arr!" So I'm assuming he's like,
Yeah,
and
so,
not-
let me-
if he was bulletproof, I would be like, this is still not the most
I call
illogical
him
thing that's
50
ever
Cent.
happened in the series. So
Calm down.
You know what?
So, it was funny because this trailer is absurd. This
Oh,
trailer is
yeah.
like 50,
Oh.
50 levels of absurd. So when I was in Oakland this last weekend, and I had just woken up, refreshed my phone. And literally, the first thing that pops up on my phone is Hobbs Shaw trailer. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. All right, this is gonna be either make or break.
Hell
because
yeah.
This movie could be actually like the trailer. This could have totally been a make or break. This looks like ass, or this looks absolutely.
the director John Wick too. So and Dead.
So
and,
I loaded up, but I was with my best friend
John
there.
Wick.
And I loaded up. I was with my best friend there, and he likes. We watch the Fast and Furious movies whenever they come out. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna. I watched the first 3 seconds. Like, you know what? I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna watch it as soon as he wakes up. The first thing he does when he wakes up, I'm gonna show him this trailer. Literally the first thing. So he opened his eyes. I'm like, hey, look at my phone. And just put the trailer right in his face. We watched it, and it was like, you know, whenever you like wake up like at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you think something happened, but you don't really think that happened.
Yeah.
So that happened, and it's throughout the weekend we just be like, so did The Rock really jump out of a window to beat up someone falling down?
he wasn't going down quick enough, so he had to use gravity. He is a rock too. So
that was
you know.
literally
And then knocked out 2 guys by punching them in the helmet.
while falling down.
Of course. And
Yeah, I
and
feel like
Jason Statham's in an elevator, and to make it go faster, he punches a button.
There's
so.
there's 2 writing rooms I want to be in. in Hollywood. Just not contribute to them. Just 2 writing rooms I want to just like be a fly on the wall in. Fast and Furious, because I just want to hear like, all right, what can we do, guys? Let's just make The Rock like turn around a torpedo with his hand outside of a
How
car.
about The Rock
All right.
turns into a car? That'll be the next one.
And the other one
Oh my
is
god.
Deadpool 2. Or just Deadpool in general. I want to hear like the how they come up with the jokes in there. And it's like, what's the most ridiculous thing we can do right now? Let's do that.
They got the guy that directed Deadpool too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, best of both worlds. But yeah, so this trailer is actually absurd.
It's
If
great.
you want to see a good reaction?
Like all the
Good
other
reaction.
ones are absurd.
Well, this one it's like we're
But
actually
this one-
in our realm now.
This one's entertainingly absurd.
I thought the
All,
other ones
all of the recent ones have been that.
All right,
Since 5.
Maybe for
Let's
you.
just go. Is there a way we can go through like a very rough
Frame
time?
by frame?
Not frame. No. I want to talk about.
I like to say I'm the Fast
But I
and
wanna
Furious
say- hold on.
expert.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. Okay, Fast and Furious, the Fast and the Furious.
Yes.
First one. How did it end? It was a street race, right? And they tried to outrun a cop, right?
No,
they
that's in the
tried to outrun a
beginning.
Train, remember?
Train and
They outrun a train in souped up.
Oh, you're trying to get the last scenes of every movie? All right, hold up.
Okay.
No, I know all of them. All right. Too Fast, Too
That's incredible because I can't believe you know all
Too
of them.
Fast,
Go
Too
ahead.
Furious ends with a jump from a car onto a boat,
Okay.
and then the boat explodes. I
Still
believe.
more plausible than shit that happens in all these other fucking ones. But okay, third one, what happens?
Tokyo Drift. There's the drifting race with Hans in it, and that's where he dies.
And we got Mr. Vin Diesel.
Yeah,
showing up.
but yes,
It was a cave. They go through a cave, which is fucking stupid. and
that
collapsing.
movie's horrible, by the way.
Yeah, that movie's horrible. 5 is they drag a safe everywhere and it hits shit.
I
They're
hope-
carrying around it's a wrecking ball.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. 6 is a giant cargo plane that a souped up car drives through the
That
front of to kill
Hold
the
up.
bad guy. In the next movie, he's just in a hospital bed, kind of
Hold up,
bruised,
hold
even
up.
though he got fucking ran over. Whatever.
hold up. And really quick, I love that that's like the longest running strip of for an airline
Oh, yeah.
to run on. Because they run on that for like 15 minutes.
For itself.
What, you don't know that there's an airport the size of the Great Wall of China? You haven't
And,
seen that
and
one?
seven,
Yeah, and 7
seven is a straight up war in LA.
blew their load halfway through, where they jumped out of one building,
Yeah.
get into another skyscraper, and then jump out of that one to another one, right? They just,
That,
think?
yeah,
Is that
that,
true?
that basically turned into some like Escape from New York type shit.
yeah.
But they also what it was just a war. There was a war in LA, which God knows why didn't the government get involved? Because there's like a plane flying there for literally a quarter of a second. People are gonna shoot that thing down. Also,
Either really.
remember we missed the good part where The Rock throws an ambulance on top of of a drone. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and he
eight.
go back to work. And he
Fucking
breaks the thing.
8.
And 8 was that submarine battle.
Fate
that
of the
they put on
Furious.
Trailer.
Fucking
He kicked back. And then Vin Diesel drifted while in air to go around the rock, so the torpedo hit the rock instead of him. Wait, not the rock, the person, an actual rock.
They spoiled the trailer, which is dumb. It's like
The-
the final shot of the movie.
the
I gotta
one.
point out if I'm talking about a person or a rock.
Well, I've been saying the rock for the last 10 minutes, so I mean an
And-
actual rock.
And also,
If the rock got hit by a torpedo, he'd probably be okay. So, it's,
in Fate of the
If
Furious.
he gets hit by Idris Elba now, he gets messed up.
well,
Yeah, that's true.
Idris Elba is a torpedo. So,
Also,
Anyway,
in
so-
Fate of the Furious, also there's the whole shit where there's zombie cars being controlled by AI or some shit.
and they're falling out of the sky
Oh,
like
yes.
Very special effects of all time.
World War Z jumping out of the freaking sky.
I just want to say,
Amazing.
if you want a good reaction to Hobbs and Shaw, just look at Gore's reaction progressively as the trailer goes on, and it
Yeah.
becomes more absurd. Like his face like
Yeah.
deteriorates.
It gets better.
It's a great.
Yeah,
trailer. By the way, I saw the trailer in the theaters for Cold Pursuit, and my entire theater had the same kind of reaction, which was really good.
It's great.
When he jumps off and he lands on one of the guys and like wall runs like he's the Prince of Persia, and he fucking beat everybody up, shooting. It's great. It's a great trailer.
And it's also a fantastic thing when you hear Gore say that this trailer is the most absurd, like the craziest thing he's seen in months. When we just got the John Wick trailer like 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
Well, yeah, John Wick,
Well-
because I know that's all
Yeah.
shit that they actually did.
I'm sorry. You know that John Wick can jump out of a building. It's gonna happen one day.
He's gonna actually do it. Keanu Reeves is gonna jump out of either him or the next Mission Impossible movie. Tom Cruise is gonna jump out of a fucking like a building.
Someone's gonna do it. Someone's gonna recreate. Someone's gonna remaster Hobbs and Shaw, but in real life.
Remaster.
Yeah, honestly, what I loved was Chris's reaction at the end of the trailer. Is the trailer stops, he just goes, "That's the most absurd thing I've seen in a long time, and I love it."
Yeah, it's good. I mean, they might as well just go as far as possible.
They're gonna go to space.
might as
In
well
the next two movies, we're gonna see space. Has to happen.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they've said it before that it's possible.
What's gonna
I
happen?
believe it.
They're gonna be in space and they won't even have like suits on. They'll just walk
Yeah.
around, and they'll be walking like
Well,
regular.
Yeah.
When they're in their cars, they roll the windows up so they can breathe.
Yeah.
There's two things I see in the future of Fast and Furious. It's space travel and it's time travel because we're gonna get Han back someday.
Paul
And then
Walker
Ant-Man
comes
someday.
back.
Ant-Man shows up in the Fast and Furious.
I was gonna say the only way to stop Thanos is to bring Han back.
And Paul Walker, to be fair.
Han Solo, that's his name, by the way. Which I just want to bring that back up. Anyway, what, Kyle?
Paul Walker's gonna come back, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh sure. CG. Fuck it.
Yeah, they did it to Peter
They
Cushing.
in Fast and Furious 7 or Furious 7.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time when you see him, it was like
It's just his brother.
it was his brother that they just CG'd his face on. Which, by the way, this might be a good transition. We're not going to talk about it yet, but the CG for Paul Walker's face in Furious 7 is better than the CG for the Aladdin trailer for fucking Will Smith's dumbass face. But we'll get more into that in a little bit. But yeah, no, the Hobbs Shaw trailer was great. I will say this: the jokes in it, while they're chuckle,
They weren't good, but it's
Yeah,
the chemistry of them fighting it together.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I like what they both were calling each other asshole at like the same time. They were
Oh,
saying,
my favorite line in Fate of the Furious: "I'm gonna beat you like a Cherokee
Like a-
drum."
Yeah, that was literally gonna mention that.
"Beat your ass like a Cherokee drum." They don't put that in the trailer, but he says ass. I'm gonna beat your ass like a Cherokee drum. Great, so good. I wish he said that in wrestling. It would have been great. That should have been his like tagline.
But
So
it's good. I love the way they're going with it. It's obviously like a lot of comedy. They're going with it. It's
It might as well just be a comedy. It's like,
right, like because like at the very first, like at the very beginning, it seemed like oh they're gonna keep it serious, but then they just went with that. Why can't we be friends? And you're like, all right, cool. We're gonna go. There.
We be friends.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious has gone off the deep end since 5. You know, like
If this does like what do you guys predict this is gonna do versus Fast and Furious like core franchise?
What do you mean?
I think it's
money?
gonna do just as well as the last one. The last one didn't. I'm talking about in America. I don't know
Dude,
about. I
The
have no clue.
the Fate of the Furious is like the #1 like global like day
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, global. I'm talking about fucking just in America. It's gonna
Be-
do because the last one in America didn't do even close to as good as Furious 7.
Oh yeah.
Furious 7 was it was a big thing because it was Paul Walker. It was the last one. I think that's probably the only reason why it was so big. People wanted to see, it's Paul Walker. It was the last one. And that's why the 8th one, like, did way less than 7. Like, way less.
Do you guys?
Worldwide, though, I think it did about the same. Maybe a little bit less, but
I think here it's going to do better than 8 did, just because it's also going to get a lot of the people that just love seeing Dwayne Johnson or Jason Statham in movies, and seeing that it's going to be a good there'll actually be action sequences for them and not just car chases. I think it'll do better.
What do you guys expect out of the core franchise if this does better than the last one? With Vin Diesel probably getting pissed about that.
I just don't think it's gonna be as big because it doesn't have Fast and Furious and
well, it's
big
in the
letters. Yeah, technically.
technically,
People are gonna say Hobbs and Shaw. That's what they're not gonna say.
Yeah, like
Fast
I
and
said,
Furious,
they're only
Hobbs
gonna
and
say
Shaw.
that. They're only gonna say that because it's shorter.
Yeah.
And when they go to the ticket office, they're not gonna say Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, please. Like, But and when we talk about, we're gonna say Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
They want, but they
look
need
at
to put Fast and Furious in
titles for every Fast and Furious movie from now on. Like, besides 8, every other one was like trying to get shorter and shorter. Like, you had Fast and Furious, it just took the "thes" out. Fast 5, Furious 6. Well, it was Fast and Furious 6, but in the movie it's called Furious 6, right?
Furious 7.
and then Furious 7.
Fate of the Furious.
They just call it and 8 or 9. Like that's what I kept saying. They didn't use the and. So
No, 9's gonna just called space.
Fast
All right.
and Furious.
Fast, comma Furious, comma 9.
Well, yeah.
No, the next one will just be the Final Fantasy IX logo.
All right. We're gonna Hobbs Shaw now.
There's more realistic shit in Final
I
Fantasy.
don't get
more-
to see that Fast and Furious.
Well, speaking of realistic,
Oh my god.
speaking of realistic, let's talk Child's Play.
Yeah.
I got him.
Because I gonna say Aladdin. For some
I know
reason.
you were.
Real
Got him.
realistic. Oh god. Child's Play. It was called a trailer, even though it was really a teaser.
It was a teaser, yeah.
I hate this terminology. I can never figure out the terminology of everything.
I don't get it either. It's just
Like,
like,
it's just
some
a fucking
trailers that are
trailer. It's
actually
just a
like
trailer.
trailers are called teasers,
yeah.
and then sometimes we get these, and these are just called trailers.
Teaser should be you don't see literally like anything. Maybe a couple of like beauty shots of the environment or some shit. Not that Child's Play needs beauty.
Like
shots.
Aladdin, the Aladdin first trailer, right?
The Aladdin trailer just had
Yeah.
shots. Like look at this shit. And then at the end it gives you a little bit. You see Aladdin, he's about to grab the lamp. That's it. Lion King, that was a teaser also, right? And that was
Yeah.
just. I mean, they showed you beauty shots, and then they showed you a
Well,
couple.
like even the Endgame one that we just talked about, I think that's
Yeah, I was about to
That's
say
a
the end
spot.
game could technically be a teaser because it doesn't really show much. It's just a lot of quick shots.
Yeah.
Right.
What'd you say, Kyle?
Anyway.
It's more
Talk
of a
Child's
spot than a
Yeah,
teaser.
well, no, we're talking about the first Endgame trailer.
So Child's Play, you know, as it's a it's a series I really like personally.
Me too. I
I-
love Chop.
I like most of them. I have a history with them. I was really scared of it as a kid, but now I really enjoy them. When you're 2 years old and you flip on TV to see Chucky fucking about to kill a black guy, I mean that's pretty scary. Anyways,
Yeah,
this new Child's Play movie.
Which movie
it's
was that? Which one was that?
the first one with the voodoo. Where he has a voodoo
Oh.
doll in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he stabs the doll. But anyways, this new one, it's not helmed by Don Mancini, who did the other ones. That's a bummer. That's a real big bummer. Doesn't seem like Brad Dourif is going to do the voice, which is iconic
I don't
to
think
that role.
Chuck's gonna have a voice. I have a
No.
feeling he's just gonna be some
And
robot doll that goes around killing things.
and that's
Well, I think he's gonna have the normal like good guy, but or I guess they're called buddies now. But the hi, I'm Chucky. Want to play? I'm gonna murder you, lol.
Yeah, it's not gonna have someone's voice. They're just gonna use the computer voice for it.
Imagine Chucky spouts memes.
holy shit.
I can't wait.
All
I think I just heard Gory get an erection.
anyways, all of this just is like going to show how like this whole project, this remake is just unnecessary and it doesn't really
Well,
seem to be doing anything cool.
I think they just want to just cash in on the whole. Everyone's remaking all the old
Yeah.
shit now.
Well,
Yeah, but, like,
yes.
Halloween is not even a remake; it's a sequel. But it used just Halloween, so it made it seem like it was like, oh, it's
Isn't there
it's
a
new
Friday
back. Yeah, LeBron
Yeah,
James.
that didn't do
using it.
well. That didn't
I-
do well.
But no. I think he's talking about the LeBron James one that he's
Yeah.
producing, right? LeBron
Well,
James.
no,
is it?
I don't know if he got official approval. I think he
Yeah, I'm
just
not
said
sure.
he was looking into it, but they didn't actually get
It'll
anything.
happen. I'm sure after
Yeah,
Halloween
if it's
it'll happen.
LeBron James, I think it probably will happen. Not that it matters if he produces it. like it doesn't matter. And anybody can make a typical Friday the 13th movie. I feel. I don't think you need to be a maestro to fucking make
Yeah,
that work.
Any slasher films aren't hard to make.
Now, when it comes to Child's Play has my favorite part about Child's Play is not the slasher portion at all ever.
No.
My favorite part is always Brad Dourif.
Yep.
Always I like the beginning of Child's Play. It takes a long time until you get to hear him actually talk. You see him in the beginning as a human, but you don't see him later. You don't hear him ever again until like the last 20 minutes. But the whole build up until that moment in the first Child's Play where he turns his head, he goes,
Yes.
"I'm Chucky, want to play?" And it goes under the bed. I mean the sofa.
Couch.
And then it goes, "You fucking bitch, I'll kill you." It's like
Yeah.
so good. It's so good, and it's not scary even a little bit.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. But the first hour treats it like it's like, oh man, it's gonna be a really like you're not gonna predict where it's going. It's gonna be so scary. And then at the end, it's just like he's a killer doll and he curses and calls people bitches.
And gets like locked in a cabinet and just constantly keeps trying to break down doors.
He gets kicked. Every time they show him walking,
There was-
it's like
Gets lit on fire and is still like, all right, I'm good now.
and he curses. Ah, shit! If Jason did that, he wouldn't be scary. He wouldn't be imposed. He'd be like, ah, fuck! Like, every 5 seconds.
There was a lot of atmosphere in the first one that's like not in any of the other ones.
There's plenty of atmosphere where you see like the shadow of him, kind of a little bit,
Yeah.
and like that one.
There's a lot of
where
first-person views.
Chucky's old partner or whatever, right?
Oh
And he's
yeah.
up with a gas line or whatever. That part was, it was good. Well, I wouldn't say it was creepy or anything. It was just like, but it was good. And the babysitter getting thrown out of the window and stuff like that stuff is good. You don't see it. And if you didn't know what Child's Play was ahead of time, then you might be like, oh, what's going on? Huh? But yeah, I mean, now we know what Child's Play is. So they're not fucking around. They just they tell us immediately in this new trailer that yeah, it's a robot doll, Chucky. He's going around. His name's still Chucky. Don't worry, we keep that. So people.
At which point the kid seems to just take that well by grabbing a chainsaw and what was that, an axe?
Yeah,
Just like going full on like fucking Call of Duty shit on it. Just like, I'm gonna fuck everything up.
Yeah, he's going full on like battle mode, which is cool. I mean, Andy in the first movie, I mean, he has that great. Besides that, I mean, he's just a little kid. Then he was way younger in the first movie. He was like what, 6 in the first movie.
He's young in
And
the second one too.
Yeah, I know. It's only like they only like what made that movie 2 years later or
Yeah.
something. So
Yeah.
because the first one did so well. But yeah, like, in this one he's like a 12-year-old kid. He looks like he's like 12 maybe
Yeah.
11. But I don't know. I see little things they're trying to do. Like they gave him a hearing aid. You can see a hearing aid in his ear or something. Like a hearing aid, I guess. I don't know. The mother's played by Aubrey Plaza, which
which her. I mean, it's nothing against it, but I have trouble seeing her in any sort of like a serious role.
I heard she's really good in that Legion show. Like I actually like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She I watched. She was fantastic in it. But like I said, it's even there. It was still not super serious with her role.
No. Yeah, I heard she was
like it was a lot of, and I mean that was part of her character, but it was a lot of overacting with it that worked well. But I just don't see her, playing the mother role in a movie.
Yeah, I don't see it either, especially seeing shit like what was that movie?
Ingrid Goes West.
Ingrid Goes West, and then shows
that's her role. Ingrid Goes West, I feel like was made just so she could play that character.
Pretty much.
That was like, that's her. Because from what I've heard in interviews and stuff, like when people talk about her, they say like, no, that's exactly every time she does a role where she acts like that kind of character, that's her in real life. And she almost, like, from what I heard, what's the show? Parks and Rec she's in?
Parks and Rec,
she got that role because she acted like that in the audition for that character, I think.
Yeah.
And they're like, is this really how she acts?
I love when that happens. I love when they just make a whole new role for someone. Like, I love this.
I think it was the same role. It was just her character was a little bit different, but they liked how she did the audition as, like, the way she was just doing it with her normal personality, I guess. So just they gave her the role. I think so. You have to look this up because I don't watch
that's what it was.
Yeah. I don't watch Parks and Rec, but that's what I heard. But well, I mean, Dirty Grandpa.
Oh yeah, brother.
Immediately, I'm already just not a fan, but but she could be good in this, and she was good in Ingrid Goes West. So. I don't know. Besides that, I don't really have any. I mean, they give you a couple shots of the back of friggin' Chucky's head.
I just don't care about Robot Chucky.
Nope.
Yeah. I mean,
I was happy about it, but like I was a little excited. I was wary, obviously, because it's a remake, and especially horror remakes, often than not, they're misses. But with this, like when it started off, like okay, this will be good, and then a second, you saw the doll scan his face. I'm like, okay, this is just gonna be some evil AI type shit.
It's got like stuff like imprint on them, and it goes crazy. It's just like maybe
it's a rogue AI. I'm like, so
like
we're basically getting the kids edition of iRobot is what we're seeing here.
I told Kyle on Twitter it's funny that this showed for some reason in my theater it did not show this trailer.
They showed it before the Prodigy, and I was like, wait, the fuck? Was this out? Was this out already?
It didn't show for me, so
Wow.
that was weird. I knew too that it was supposed to. I was like, all right,
yeah.
Whatever. I guess it didn't really matter. It came out a day later, but it didn't show for me. I don't know. That was weird. But I think it's funny that it shows before the Prodigy because the Prodigy is pretty much like a Child's Play movie.
It actually seems more of
like
a
an
Child's
Omen
Play
movie.
than this. Well, yeah,
No,
but
but we have like a serial killer's soul goes into not a
A
child
child's toy.
It's a child. Oh fuck! Just cut out the man. You don't need to do the animatronics. That's why.
Yeah.
Don't want to do the animatronics. Just get a little
and
kid.
it's just as funny when a kid says, "Fuck you, bitch, suck my cock." I mean, it's just as funny then.
Hey, you say it all the time. It's hilarious.
He definitely did. Fuck you. You didn't say that in the movies.
Again,
Alright,
that is a
speaking of
quote.
saying stuff in the movies, let's talk about Aladdin.
That was the exact quote. Speaking of that quote, let's talk about that.
I love that Will Smith quote.
Oh yeah, where he says that to Aladdin in the trailer
Yeah.
or the special look. Yeah, it's very special towards
Emphasis
the
on the special part.
Yeah, there's the last 5 seconds are very special. Okay, so Aladdin. All right, when we're recording this came out like 2 hours before,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
like 2-3 hours. I think it looks fine until the last shot of his face, and his face looks. I'm just gonna assume this. I have a feeling he's not gonna be Blue Genie for most of a lot of the movie. I think he's gonna be Human Genie, where he has the stupid.
He better not be Blue Genie the entire time.
Oh, not because they did not nail it.
His head's like a third of the size it should be.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand why they couldn't just say screw it and make the genie look cartoony when he's blue, and then when he's a human, just make him a human. Like, I mean, it's Aladdin. Like, who gives a shit about realism? Like, we have to make the genie look like a human except blue, and then when he's a human, he has to be just a human.
But
Can
when
we
he's
stop-
blue,
can
we
we-
also have to make him really buff and strong, like he could bench press a car.
Can
of
we
course.
can we derail for a second and just say I
I don't
I don't like all this live action reboots we're getting.
I don't either. I think Lion King's gonna be good because
Jungle
Someone-
Book was good.
Someone
as fuck.
someone mentioned that, and I agree, is that they, instead of going back and redoing all the popular things, they should go back and renew like all the stuff that didn't
Like
actually
what?
hit.
Well, hold on. Like what?
money, bitch.
Yeah, what they're doing is they're going and they're seeing everything and they're going, well, we couldn't do live action before, but now we have the technology.
Yeah,
Let's do it. And they're just
exactly.
going through all their list of their
What-
the biggest successes, and just going down the list and doing it.
I'm the worst person when it comes to Disney because I've actually not seen a lot of Disney movies. What's the fucking one movie that?
Black Cauldron.
Oh, no, it was an animated movie. It came out, I want to say 2000s.
Treasure
Atlantis?
Planet.
Yeah, Atlantis.
Atlantis?
Well,
Okay.
Was
Hey,
it Atlantis, right?
that'd be cool, but nobody liked Atlantis.
What I'm
yeah,
saying is that can
it's-
renew that stuff, though. I
But
think
that's
they can
not
do
why
like
they would
that.
make it. They don't want to have
You know
anything
what?
to do
I
with
would
it
love
if it
to
flops.
see- I would love to see a Treasure Planet movie. It will never.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Sorry, that's the one I was talking about.
love Treasure Planet. They'll never do it.
I
that's the
love
one
a
I'm saying.
live action Treasure Planet or Road to El Dorado. But,
Because well, but the reasoning is it failed. If we do it again, we're failed. That's how the people who invest money in this shit think. You know, they think
Right.
The Lion
Or
King,
they-
big movie.
Or the fact they do a live action and it looks bad and that just tarnishes that name a little bit.
That's the thing.
for
like,
for most regular people, it probably looks fine. Like they'll
Yeah.
still see this shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they know even if it's not the greatest, they still know with stuff like that. If it's Disney, they know they'll still turn a profit
The
on it if they're doing
shitty
Lion
fucking-
King or Jungle Book or
The
something.
fucking horrible Beauty and the Beast remake they did recently. Fucking everybody fucking saw that. It was like one of the very biggest movies of that year.
Oh yeah, that was
Absolutely
the first.
You
That
know,
was,
it
that
was one of the very biggest movies of that year. Come on.
When that was like one of the. I imagine all the first run of these are gonna do well. Like I don't see.
It was only like
yeah.
a year or two ago.
I think it's gonna do huge.
Oh yeah,
Like-
that's gonna be one of the year's biggest movies without a doubt.
I'm pretty sure Lion King is technically more popular than Beauty and the Beast, right? I mean, I know Beauty and the Beast has
More money,
watch-
yes.
I'm
No.
sure. I'm sure it hits more with our audience generation now too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially.
well, what was it? Was it number 1 or number 2 for really animated movies
For a long time.
Number 2
20
'cause it's
years?
Until like Shrek 2 came out, I think.
Sure.
It was.
shit. When are
not-
they
that's
gonna
not a
remake
joke.
Shrek in live action?
Shrek. They can get my parents to play him now. 'cause he's all fat.
People remade Shrek this year, all right.
I think I mentioned it in the podcast before, but do you guys see that some Twitter was uploading clips of Shrek in 140p, but just like in a long Twitter thread?
Right. So you can watch the entire movie in a thread. Yeah, so it's good. That's not a waste of time, by the way.
No,
But,
I got a lot of retweets.
No, what was the first big Disney live action remake? Was it Cinderella?
I think it was. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's other ones.
Of the most of like the
we're talking
2010
about, like, new ones. Yeah, I think Cinderella was Maleficent.
Maleficent.
But
Yeah, Maleficent.
of Sleeping Beauty.
But they switched it around and now it's Maleficent.
Yeah, because Cinderella's just a straight up remake.
Yeah, Cinderella's a remake.
Yeah.
They switched a couple things. Like Cinderella, most of that fucking movie is the dumbass rats and the animals.
Ew.
Each other. And
it was them just showing off the CG for most of it.
Oh man.
No. What I'm saying, the original Cinderella is that.
Oh
and
yeah, the original, yeah.
Oh.
The new one, they didn't do that. I mean, you see the animals, but they're not talking to each other. They're not going like, "Oh, buddy, I can't wait to help Cinderella."
And
they have voice, but Disney back then, they were racist as shit. So racist.
And
but watch out if you're James Gunn now, then everything else goes back.
But this thing with Aladdin, it's directed by Guy Ritchie, who did fucking Snatch and Long Stock Barrel, whatever it's called.
Long Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
And the Sherlock Holmes movies. This just kind of looks trashy.
Excuse me.
Yeah, the Sherlock Holmes movies are fucking great.
Yeah, I really like the first one's great. The second one's
not as good, but it's still pretty good.
Hey, you're forgetting Guy Ritchie's best movie, King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. Yeah, he directed.
Forgot on purpose. Anyways,
didn't Robin Hood come out?
Yeah.
yeah, that came out. That came out.
I forgot that came out.
Yeah, live action remake.
A public service announcement to Hollywood. Nobody gives a fuck about King Arthur or Robin Hood anymore. Stop making movies about either of them because nobody cares.
Unless it's a Mel Brooks sequel to Robin Hood Men in Tights.
That's fine. I'll watch that. I'm sure it would at least do half of its budget, but it's at least that because we have the Kid Who Would Be King, which is King Arthur, horribly bombing. Legend of Bullshit that bombed horribly. We had Robin Hood, which bombed horribly. That last Robin Hood before that, the Russell Crowe one, bombed horribly.
Oh yeah.
No one wants these set pieces anymore. Like I think they're just
bullshit characters that nobody likes.
They want them, but they don't want the same freaking character and the same shit over and over and over again.
Who wants them in general, though? I don't think anyone wants any of these.
I like Robin Hood, but I don't need to see a movie of them ever again because that it was the 40s anymore, or the 50s where Errol Flynn's going.
Let's do it like this. When Transformers starts doing that shit, you need to take a break from it.
Yeah, exactly. When they put King, and that movie bombed in America. So King Arthur in that one, and that was the lowest grossing Transformer. Don't ever put King Arthur in your movie ever.
or Merlin.
Disney did a King Arthur movie, an animated.
Can you imagine if
it didn't do well?
Can you imagine Endgame? Ant-Man goes back to his King Arthur, and the fucking movie just tanks.
Fucking check. Nobody
hey, that's King Arthur, and just immediate intermission hits.
the theaters burned down.
We lost for the Infinity War now. How'd that happen?
It's a fucking King Arthur movie. They tricked me into seeing a King Arthur movie finally. Transformers tried. I just don't make like. Is there another like kind of fantasy thing like that? Robin Hood, King Arthur. I bet there's another one.
I don't know.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Classic tale. But yeah, just don't make them anymore. Just don't make Robin Hood. Don't make the other one, King Arthur.
And also, don't make Aladdin. All right, moving on.
Wait, hold on. I didn't want to point out. The sad fact is with these Disney remakes is that Jungle Book was legitimately really fucking good. So it's sad that they have to keep doing this.
Sad?
It's sad because they have to keep saying bullshit like Aladdin. That's why.
Well, you don't know. It might be good.
We're gonna see 101 Dalmatians remake again, down the line.
No, Maleficent thing though, and it's gonna be about the villain. I forgot her name.
Cruella. They're just gonna call it Cruella.
Called Cruella.
It's fucking stupid.
It's called Dalmatian. Everybody likes dogs. What the fuck, Cruella? The shit.
All right.
Well, hold on, I'm not done. Jafar looked like he was like 20 years too young, too. Anyway.
And also, I said it to you when we were watching it before we recorded. He looks like he's talking as a CG character.
Yeah, that's
Like it looks like they had someone pose for it, and then they made him all CG.
either that or maybe it's just the lip syncing, and because there's so much fucking CG around him, that the bleeding of all that just in your brain just made it. You think everything's
My
CG.
brain can't deal with it.
CGI is everywhere.
All right. Well, those are the
All right.
trailers. Let's go on to box office.
Oh no, I think there was something else
Nope.
No.
you wanted to do before that,
Nope.
Adrian. All right.
No.
Oh, so we're talking box office.
All right, let's talk. All right, bitch, you got it up.
Yep.
All right, so one. thing-
Hey, what's up, everyone? Here's the box office wrap up. Get some in my eye.
Just a bunch of noise. All right, so one thing that happened this weekend is the only thing that really happened this weekend that was like really of note is the Lego Movie 2 came out finally after 5 years of waiting for that movie. It's out. I mean, you had other Lego movies also, the Batman one and the Ninjago movie, which nobody saw. And I was looking forward to it because I loved the first one. 5 years, maybe a little too long, but okay. Other movies came out. Was it White Men Can't Jump? Was it? Oh, What Men Want? Cold Pursuit, The Prodigy, and a couple of holdovers. So I'm just gonna do number 10 from 10 down.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So number 10 was Miss Bala. Which,
Oh yeah.
Makes a holla.
Yeah.
Miss Bala. They ain't making the money though. So
Oh, they won't. They won't.
50% drop in its second weekend. That's pretty
Sad.
bad.
And keep in mind that one of the trailers for that movie was like all the actors and actresses talking about how they want this to be some legendary movie for the Latin culture and be like their Black Panther, and I'm just like, oh, this isn't gonna go the way you hope it will.
It might. I don't know. It could be like what's that one? Bleed In, Bleed Out. What the hell is it called? Oh my god. Blood In, Blood Out. Blood In, Blood Out. Like I had a bunch of Mexican friends growing up, and they.
I had Mexican friends.
No, just the way you
I
said
don't
it.
hang with
Yeah,
them.
like the way you said that was just funny.
I don't hang with them anymore. That's why I said. I have.
Trump deported all of them. They left
Oh,
me.
Jesus.
No.
Oh, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. No, I don't hang out with them for reasons, but because they don't.
Wow,
live
that sounds worse. Don't even that made it all worse.
what?
Miss Bala.
What? I can't hang out with them if they're not here anymore. Anyway,
What? Get it?
I can't hang out with something 6 feet.
Anyways, you think Miss Bala is
God.
gonna have some longevity?
Great. Anyway, no. What was
if,
gonna say?
if it wasn't for me and you guys were saying this in a podcast alone, you guys would get ridiculed.
Oh, Mexican? I don't know.
Like 3 white guys are talking shit.
I ain't talking shit. The
Saving
fuck?
grace.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I just said I don't hang out with them anymore.
Wow. Wow.
What are they? Over the border? I didn't
That's fucked up, Gore. You need to move on.
hang out with them anymore.
Miss Bala.
Fuck. Anyway, whatever. They watched Blood In, Blood Out a lot. A lot. I'm not even kidding. I've never even seen that movie, but that was like a religion for them. They would watch it. They had like 2 DVD copies because their one DVD copy just like they used it so much that it was just scratched badly. They couldn't watch it anymore. Watched it so much. That was. I mean, that was like I don't know, me growing up. I guess that would be like my Die Hard. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Just move on, dude.
Talking about. I'm just talking about Miss Bala. Kyle, you're making it weird. Anyway, it didn't do well. So number 9 is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's been there for like 10 days. 10 days. It just came out. That's been there for like 10 weeks.
It's been like 2 months.
Yeah, that'd be 10 weeks. It'd been there 9 weeks. Excuse me. Excuse me, princess. But it's still in the top 10. It's doing well. I wish it did a little bit better worldwide, but yeah, that's definitely a success. It only cost like $90 million to make, so.
People love it, so it's gonna have some longevity.
352 million worldwide is pretty good. It's made 180 in America though. All right, Aquaman, that's still fucking there. $328 million so far, made $3 million this week.
Good for them.
Green Book is still there too.
All the old people still seeing it.
Oh yeah. What, Aquaman?
Both.
Yeah, old people love nonsense. 2.5 hours.
love this Aquaman.
Oh, well, I like water. Oh, look at a giant shark.
And then they said Ocean Master.
Well, it's either they're going to see Aquaman or their children are dragging them to see They Shall Not Grow Old so that they can go, hey, remember the war and all that? Here, remember it.
I had someone mention Aquaman and talking about like that they laughed at a lot of parts of it. I was like, do you laugh at the best part? They're like, what part? I was like, when they said Ocean Master. They're like, I don't remember that part. I was like, how do you not remember the best fucking part of that whole movie?
Me, Ocean Master.
Ocean
It should have
Man.
cut to somebody like, snickering in the movie. Like,
It should
They
have.
probably did.
Literally, they do that in Guardian. Just steal this. Steal
yeah,
it.
it's exactly like the second Guardians movie with that taser face shit. But alright, whatever. Number 6 is the Prodigy. It made money. It didn't do well. But considering its budget was $6 million, and it made $6 million this weekend. I guess it's not too bad.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
The shitty ass Possession of Hannah Grace movie that came out a couple months ago, it's definitely way better, and I think that
I forgot that movie came out.
sucked ass. But this movie tried. We will talk about it in a minute, but the movie tried to do something a little bit different than most horror movies out there nowadays. Number 5 is Glass. It finally lost number 1. It's been number 1 3 weeks. That's mainly because there was no other movies out. So
Good for Glass.
yeah, good for Glass.
How'd that do overall?
It's almost at 100 million right now. It only cost 20 million to make, and worldwide, I think it's like over 200 million at this point. So, yeah, I mean, it's gonna do as well as Split, I think. Yeah, it's at 221 right now worldwide. So
That's
more than 11 times.
Even if he didn't like it, I'm glad that he still did well with that movie.
I liked it, but
Even though you guys all fucking hate that movie, I'm glad he did well.
eat that movie.
What, Glass? I liked it more than all of you.
Glass. You know what Glass is like? It's a bad movie.
Nope.
Next up.
What do you think I was gonna say? Hold on, I lost my place. Number 4 is The Upside. This movie needs to fucking go away. It's money though. $85 million so far.
Jesus
It
Christ.
keeps dropping small percentages too. It's like the feel-good movie. It has Bryan Cranston, it has Kevin Hart.
It's just like Green Book again. There's already
It's
another
Green-
Green Book.
Green Book, except the other way, because he
Oh,
has
the black
to drive
man
him.
takes care of him.
It's like driving Miss Daisy, though.
Yeah.
Except the woman is a guy.
And it's not
Bryan
going to be anywhere around Oscars.
Oh, well, it came out in January, so it definitely won't. Now, even if it was good, it wouldn't. They missed the cut. But it's doing really well, so it's a crowd pleaser. Number 3, Cold Pursuit didn't do too great, but not too bad considering the backlash that's happening right now with my boy Leslie Nielsen. Back from the dead, do one last movie. Liam Neeson. I loved Cold Pursuit, but maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about that in the future. When these chuckleheads see it, these other 2 chuckleheads, Adrian and the other one. Right here,
The
this
freaking Sith Lord sitting in the darkness.
unless you turn your light on, we can't see his webcam by the way, so we don't know what Kyle's doing right now. He could be doing anything. He could be doing.
He
something.
might not even be on camera right now, for all we know.
He might not even be Kyle. Be just someone that sounds like him.
What Men Want.
Just got his roommate to do this, and he's gone to the kitchen to make more freaking peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Number 2, What Men Want. It made money. I don't fucking care. $8 million. Like
This movie, none of us really ever even considered. Not even wanted. None of us even considered this ever existing.
It's not as like excruciating as the trailer made it look like it is, but I'm still not fucking seeing it. Number 1 is well, I mean it is number 1, but it didn't do well, I would say, at all. We have the Lego Movie 2, the second part. I liked it. I know Kyle didn't really care for it, but
It's not a lot of money.
yeah, no. That's the second lowest Lego film period.
They put out too many of these, I think.
Yep.
Which is weird because it's been 5 years since the Lego Movie 2, so and there's only 4 movies so
Yeah,
far.
but we had 2 last year. Not last year, that's 2017.
We had that's the problem though. They had 2 in 1 year. When they easily could did the Batman one early in 2017 and did Ninjago one like
Summer
2018
2018.
sometime.
It is
And then
summer.
Yeah,
release
like
Sorry.
last summer.
and release this one later in the year when it's not like 2 weeks before How to Train Your Dragon.
And I also don't like.
Oh.
I also don't like the naming of them. So you got the Lego movie.
Yeah.
That's the Lego Batman movie, the Lego Ninjago movie, then the Lego movie 2. I don't like the way they're marketing that.
I just think
Yeah.
there's been like no real anticipation for this. I haven't seen anything
Yeah,
about it.
Not really. No, there really hasn't been. But I figured it would have just done fine because kids are going to be the main publicity, and
Yeah.
they're not They're not on social media hype and shit.
Yeah,
up
How to
'cause
Train Your Dragon is when it's
they're
in
playing
week 2?
Fortnite. They don't care. But How to Train Your Dragon's in 2.5 weeks, I think.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it's like
They
next-
released this last week. It probably would have been a better week for it.
If they
Or
release-
no, I think it's actually. Is it this week? Coming
I
weekend?
think it's 22nd. I think it's the
Yeah,
20th.
it's definitely not this coming week.
I can't remember. I saw it already because I'm special.
Yeah. I will say I haven't seen the Lego movie yet, but the thing I love the most about it has nothing to do with it. It's I think it's Fandango's doing it, where it's like if you're a member on the site and you buy a ticket on the site, you get like entered for a contest to go to Legoland.
Oh,
The reason I love that is because if any adults win,
Oh
if
my
they don't
god.
have kids, they can't go.
Ah!
No, like Legoland has a rule: if you do not have a kid with you that's under 12 years or under, you're not allowed in the place.
Really?
hire a kid.
yeah. Yeah, no, that place is
On
for
Craigslist.
kids. Absolutely
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, they went. Yeah, no pedos here.
Yeah.
Okay. No Brian Singer's here.
Yeah.
Oh, they host adult nights.
Adult nights.
Adult
Yes.
nights, yeah.
Oh.
Legoland.
It'll be it's like downtown Disney or
Contest.
something.
Here's a 3-day pass to Legoland. Do you have a kid with you? Nope. Well, you can't get in there, but here's the pass anyway. Good luck with that.
Go to adult night.
Yeah, adult night. Just go on adult night, where you have a bunch of other mouth breathing fucking idiots in there. So,
It's San Diego.
yeah, you all build your Legos together. while you
Wait, hold
contemplate
on.
Your life.
So,
I love Legos.
does that
Hell,
mean you
dude.
win a trip to San Diego? Because that's where Legoland is, right?
Hell
There's
no.
a
Oh,
few
you can-
ones.
you
There's
can
one
get
in
it.
San Diego. There's one in Florida. I think they're. I don't know if the one that's in upstate New York was finished yet or not.
You can get in a Legoland.
He looked that up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Because that seems
Yeah.
really weird. That seems like a really bad cost. Wait.
No, that's the
wait.
one in Florida. Because I know there was one I went to. And that was the rule they had.
No, there's some. I mean, there's some rides you actually just can't get on, obviously. But
Oh no, not rides. Like they might not be explicitly listed, but
You can't
Yeah,
get.
no,
that was a big thing. Because I know a lot of people just wanted to go there on a college trip and stuff, and they returned away because they were too old.
I'm just imagining like a bouncer there. It's just like he has the
Yeah, no
sunglasses on, the
kids.
suit. It's like, yo, no, kids, you can go in. The big boy over here with the stubble and the friggin' ingrown toenails and the fat gut and all this adult shit.
I like
And then
how
the
the
outside-
way you're attacking this guy. I just keep calling him fat.
I mean,
Even
this
even
it doesn't
better is
exist.
Outside the park is like a Home Depot, where you just have a bunch of kids there waiting for adults to drive up. Be like, hey, who wants to be my kid for today?
Okay,
I'll give
so-
you $20.
Hey,
And then
partner.
my kids
So-
get it.
But just a bunch of dwarfs. That's
The
what
Lego
they're called.
Discovery Center. So the Lego Discovery Center, you can't get in without kids because it's pretty much a Lego themed Chuck E. Cheese. But the real Legoland, you can get in.
Lego themed Chuck E. Cheese. I didn't even know that exists.
Don't think about it.
Going
Don't
right
think it,
now.
just say it.
Going.
Yeah, is it Chuck E. Cheese? You can't get in without a kid.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Yes.
Chuck E. Cheese, definitely.
I got upset because there was a can. I had a can of soda and it had a coupon on it. It said $20, you get a medium pizza, a drink, and however many tokens to get in for that. I was like, fuck that, dude.
You have to be a kid.
Let's have adult night at Chuck E. Cheese, dude.
That's like what's the term for not like you two oldest? You're an oldest.
Ages.
Aegis. There you go.
You're an oldest.
Aegis, the real word.
All right, we're done with that.
yeah.
No. What were
Yeah,
we talking about?
We're
Oh,
done.
uh,
It didn't do well.
It didn't do.
Hey, so wait. The Lego Ninjago movie did terrible too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that made sense to me because who gives a fuck about Ninjago? Like,
Kids do.
Ninjago toys are popular. And I think there's a show that's kind of popular.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
that's such a weird franchise to go
It's
off.
over big. And Lego Movie was such a huge surprise that it was great and it had all those characters. And it was like the first Lego movie, so it made sense why it was.
And it was
so
a really well done movie.
Yep.
yeah, it was a great movie. They had that song, you know. Everybody loved that song.
Well, that's a bummer. This was not doing well, but I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot doing this.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So we're gonna talk about movies now.
Hey, just real quick. One thing I could see happening is the movie just holds very well for the next few weeks until
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, when that comes out, that's gonna.
I've seen cartoon movies before, like hold well when other cartoon movies are. Like when Wreck-It Ralph came out, it didn't drop completely when Spider-Man came out. So
no one saw Spider-Man.
Yeah, but those are so different though. Like they got a bunch of man children watching Spider-Man.
Yeah.
To be fair, but to be fair, Lego Movie 2 and How to Train Your Dragon 3 are very different when it comes to audiences. Cause there's a lot of people that I've seen that are adults that can't wait for How to Train Your Dragon.
They're
it's like,
sad, pathetic losers.
The thing is, I think obviously there's How to Train Your Dragon, but I also think a lot of like teenagers and college kids, Alita's gonna pull them away from Lego Movie.
I think that's gonna. We'll see how that does.
That's not gonna do well.
We're gonna watch that movie, so whatever.
That's the thing. I don't think it's gonna do well enough for it to not be considered a bomb, but I think it's gonna do fine if it didn't have a $200 million budget.
Yeah.
Like, it was like $100 million budget. I think it would have done fine. It would do fine.
Well, it's like all the advanced reviews were saying that even though the story isn't too great, like the special effects and everything are like fantastic, and it's worth seeing just for that.
I mean, I'm excited for it. I've been.
Yeah, we're gonna mention a little bit about Alita at the end when we talk about what we're gonna watch next week. But
spoilers, we're gonna be watching Alita next week.
We'll talk a little bit about that.
Anyway,
so we're gonna talk movies. I'm gonna dip for like 5 or so minutes if you guys want to just talk about the Prodigy for a bit.
Okay. So we all saw it besides Adrian.
Yeah, so I'm gonna dip for like 5 minutes.
Yep.
All right. All right. John.
He's leaving.
See ya.
Where is he on the screen, Kyle?
Top right.
Top right.
Fuck this guy.
Well, no,
left.
it's.
I'm assuming it's opposite. No, it's
No, you're top. You're top left. He's top right.
So just point right.
He's to your right. I'm below you.
Right? Me right or
point to your left. There you go.
It's ruined.
No, not really.
You're like cursing him anymore. Anyway.
The Prodigy.
It's a movie. All right, let's talk about the next movie now.
Before we get into it, I have to ask, and I'll get into the reason I have to ask this question. What was it that happened to the dad? Because I saw him get in the car and start driving, and then I had to walk out the theater for a couple minutes. And when I came in, he was in a hospital bed.
You missed a great scene. The kid who's evil stares at the wall with an evil stare, 2 different color eyes. Kid at this point is he's evil, and I guess he got the scissors that he killed the dog with because he had the head clippers or whatever. And he just he stabs he cuts the dad's seatbelt first, and dad's like, "What the fuck?" And then he stabs him in the side and goes, "Oh!" And then he crashes into a tree.
Yeah. Then they're both in the hospital.
Because he cut the guy's seatbelt, so that's why he gets stabbed, and then it hits a car going pretty. I mean, it hits a tree going pretty fast, and then he's in the hospital. He's all fucked up. So
so I had to walk out because I figured I knew shit was gonna go wrong when the trailer started, and I saw a group of like 10, 13, and 14-year-olds walk in,
right,
and go right up to the front away from everyone, and basically including me, 3 people had to leave the theater to get the manager to kick them out because they literally started a fist fight at the front of the fucking theater.
Hell yeah.
Good.
And when I walked out after that. I mean, and the theater was good about it, and they dealt with it. They gave everyone tickets and stuff. But I'm walking out, and I saw one person for class of January get banned from a theater because he was recording, and there was a cop there. I walk out of the theater, and there's 5, 13, and 14-year-olds next to the cop waiting for their parents to show up because they've been banned from the theater. So in a span of a month and a half, I've seen 6 people get banned from fucking movie theaters already this year.
Oh, for 2 of the best movies of the year.
for 2 movies not worth being banned from a movie theater for.
No. Well, they didn't think it was worth watching the movie. That's why they had to have a fist fight. And well, the guy thought it was worth it because it was popular, so he recorded it. I get that. But the other kid's just like, fuck it, let's fight.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know what?
I will say that was more entertaining than most of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, besides the part where the kid said, "I'll tell I'll tell my mom that.
Yeah. What will they say when they find drugs in my bloodstream and
pubes in my teeth? Yeah, that's right. I found
the
your
ones that you left.
With
Your
your
bathroom is
cock in
very
my
dirty.
mouth.
You left the pubes on the rim of your toilet.
toilet, so I put them in my teeth. oh, Jesus!
Yeah.
All right, I think that was a fib anyway. I don't think he actually did that.
Oh, yeah.
I think he knew that. Yeah, I got you. I
So
got you, fam.
the Prodigy is.
I do love last night when we brought that up. Kyle went, "So we didn't really say that, right? That was CG."
Yeah, they used a CG kid for him to say that. No, I'm pretty sure it was the kid. I mean, they got
I just can't believe they made a
got
kid
plenty
say
of kids in
that.
the past that say fucked up stuff. Like, I mean, Chloe Grace Moretz in Kick-Ass was saying like cocksucker every 5 seconds and shit. And she was 11. So
Don't forget Matt's kids from South Park doing Ike, all the shit they've said.
yeah, of course. But all right, so the Prodigy is just no omen, except a little bit of
Not as much religion.
no religion. That's pretty much. It's really like there's even a part where they almost bring religion into it, and they're just like, no, man, this is like some like spiritual shit. No religion though, just spirits. You know, which is I guess kind of religion, but they don't say like Jeebus and the devil. You know, no Jeebus, no devil. Just straight up an evil
instead
guy.
of religion, it's reincarnation.
And because I saw the trailers, there's 2 of them. I didn't know what they were. I really thought it was just gonna be like he's like the Antichrist or he's a demon kid or some shit.
That or it's just he had a sadistic streak in him or
He's
something.
bipolar or some shit. Anything. But he ends up being possessed by. In the beginning, they pretty much tell you that he gets possessed by the spirit of a psychotic murderer. Like I think he's Hungarian.
Yes.
Murderer.
Yeah.
He
kills women and cuts off their hands before he kills them.
Yeah, he cuts the hands off because he likes hands.
Which is in South Park, like the same. You know that episode where the killer and he takes off the hands.
Yeah, the episode when Cartman's a psychic. Yep.
Yeah, and the detective like looks at the hands like all the
Wait,
other ways.
Is that the Manhunter reference episode where he's like, "Do you see that one?"
Yeah.
Is it that one? Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's Manhunter.
Yeah. So there's that killer gun. And
one, right?
and what they say is that, you know, like the second that this guy dies, he possesses a baby just about being born, who is the main kid.
Between Taylor Schilling, who's from Orange is the Black or whatever. And what is it called? Orange is
the New Black.
Orange is New Black.
There you go. And it cuts between her, with she preggers, and the guy getting gunned down by the police because someone escaped, and they're coming to kill him. And so the little baby gets possessed by the soul of a Hungarian serial killer that cuts people's hands off and then murders them, I guess. Yeah. And he's also a genius. They make that very clear because the kid is a genius. Really quickly, he's already like developing faster than most kids. Like,
but it also with like the whole evil thing escalated very quick.
Yeah,
because it started off with subtle thing. It started off subtle with him, crushing the spider, and then the next evil thing we see him do is go to a janitor's closet, grab a giant lug wrench, and beat a kid with it.
Hell yeah.
There is no in between those 2 points. It's literally crush a spider and then almost beat a kid to death with a lug wrench he shouldn't even be able to hold.
Yeah, he goes like, and you know what? The thing is that it doesn't make any sense because this guy's supposed to be smart. Why would the fuck would he make himself look like just because he wanted to hang out with the girl that the other guy was hanging out with, right? The other kid.
Yeah.
So why would he put all eyes on him? I guess it makes sense towards the end because he wanted the girl to bring her to the other girl that escaped or whatever.
Yeah. So
I think what they're trying to show there is just his obsession with like the girls and hands. Yeah. It's just sometimes he can't control it. So like when he found out, he can't, she can't be his next victim. He wanted to put anything out of his way that would stop that from happening.
Then he made that guy his next victim, which that kid has to be.
Which was a hate crime. Let's be honest.
Yeah. There was plenty of hate, but I think every crime for this guy's a hate crime. So
yeah.
But I really enjoyed all of those moments in the movie. The moments where he tells his mom, or his supposed mom, because really he's not the same kid. He's just he's some Hungarian serial killer. Like
Go
Like,
fuck yourself, bitch.
Go fuck yourself. They always do this in movies where he's not an exorcist, but they always bring him to a professional or something like that.
Yeah.
To the kid, and it went so far
off the rails.
Off the rails. It
Oh,
like
God.
usually it's like the professional comes in and like finds out there is something wrong with the kid, and they have to deal with it after that with like the parents. But no, this kid's just like, you know what? That's right. I am inhabiting this body. Fuck you. You know what? You go tell my mom that I'm weird or whatever, and we should get help. I am going to tell them that you molested me.
Yeah.
I put your pubes in my mouth. They will see. Like, what was the cock in the mouth thing? Like, he said that.
Yeah.
But like, how's that?
No, he said it'd be. It said something along the lines of it'd be horrible if the cops walked in and saw your cock in my mouth.
What was it gonna do? Force him to put the cock in the It's just. It's
Or no,
weird
no.
that
It'd be strange if I said that I suddenly felt sleepy and I woke up with your cock in my mouth. That was it.
Yeah.
There you go. That was it. I suddenly fell asleep. Jesus.
Fuck.
That like having that kid say that, because it was definitely the kid saying that.
Oh yeah, that's just.
It's the same kid that plays Georgie in the It movie from last year, which is funny because he was like all this like an innocent little kid in that movie, and now he's just like he's evil son of a bitch kid. But yeah, like moments like that are really funny. He tells his mom to go fuck herself. Speaking in a Hungarian, that he's gonna murder whores or something like that. Jesus Christ.
Honestly, the thing I was worried about was at the end with the whole face-off between him and his mom.
Oh my god.
And then his mom dying. Honestly, at that part, I was afraid, not because anything scary was happening, but as soon as it showed, like, oh, his mom was shot, I'm like, we're not gonna get like some cut back and forth like the beginning, where all of a sudden his mom's gonna be reborn, and then they're setting up for a sequel where it's like
man.
the mom's reborn as a kid and trying to hunt down her son, who's a reborn serial killer.
She has unfinished business.
Yeah, I'm like, are we about to go down this rabbit hole of bullshit?
This movie's like a 10-year-old versus a 20-something-year-old.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, let's go.
But the whole last act where the kid forces the mom to take him to the place of his last victim, the Hungarian serial killer, it was so.
He didn't force her.
Yeah, she just figured it out herself, and he was just like, all right, I guess I'll go.
And she's there to kill the last victim. I mean, that's just like fucked up, man.
It's fucked up because the fact she has like a claw hand.
Yeah, it's like poor her. Like they established.
She's like secluded and stuff. You can tell she's probably a little wary of having people over, but she's like, she sees that this woman's like obviously had something affecting her or something, so she lets her in. Little did she know that she was there to murder her. To be fair, she doesn't murder her though. The kid does.
The kid does.
Can we just point out the the one major plot hole of the movie, which is at some point the dad's just gonna come back once he gets out of the hospital. He's gonna just show up at his brother's house with like a sawed-off shotgun and just blow the kid's head off.
Spoilers.
Well, no,
it's your fault for joining in without.
No, I'm just fucking with you guys.
No, you know what will happen though. It'll be like the kids acting like I'm better now, Daddy. Mommy saved me. It'll be like.
But with a twist, I could see as opposed to Serenity.
This twist. It's not really a twist in this movie. Because it tells you in the first 10 minutes that this kid is
This kid's fucked up, man.
I can't wait to talk about Serenity, but I kind of want to just stop talking about this and talk about Serenity. But
so for the record, just a side note, Chris has been wanting to talk about Serenity for the past 3 weeks.
Because there's a very good reason why.
There's a lot of good reasons why.
Yeah, but Adrian didn't want to because fucking he's a child and. Now it's like everybody forgot about it. Nobody gives a shit anymore.
Oh, well, remind the fucking viewers.
Well, we're not done.
We're not talking about Prodigy.
Remind them.
Yeah, okay, I'll remind them after we're done talking about the Prodigy. Well, that's the Prodigy. So anyway,
very mediocre movie.
It's a mediocre movie, but has some good.
Sure.
It has a few good moments in it.
The scene where they have the Hungarian guy's face on the kid is fucking amazing.
Yeah. The jump scare, one of the only like
Benjamin Button scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie doesn't have too many jump scares. That is like one of like 3 jump scares in the movie. But there's even moments in the beginning. I always love when a character gets so angry that they just look up in the air and go ah. Yeah, that moment in the beginning with the guy finding out.
What you mean when they get so angry they go ah and then strip naked and run outside?
Yeah. Ah. And he has the decapitated hand, like he's about to pull it out, and
Decapitated hand.
yeah, whatever.
Do you know what the cap in decapitated is?
The hand. Come on.
All right, that's the Prodigy.
Whatever. Cut off hand. You know what I meant. Be a cunt.
All right,
Jesus.
big movie.
All right, Fyre.
Serenity.
Oh, speaking of, I know Adrian doesn't like that word. I should have said it. I apologize, but he's being one. Anyway, I know, not the cap. That's for a head. Whatever. Dickhead. Piece of shit. Anyway, I thought it was funny that he pulled out the decapitated hand and pretended it's a gun.
Double it down on that.
Down. By the way, this movie is definitely rated R. I know a lot of people get.
Yeah, it was on the poster. Yep.
Yeah, but the woman that like escaped gets like gutted pretty much by the kid.
Yeah.
You know, just little moments. I liked it. It was a little brutal. It was a little sick. At the end, the mom gets shot. She dies.
The fucked up ending.
It's like The Omen. It's exactly like The Omen too.
Yeah.
Like father trying to kill.
Yeah, that's
It's shot
identical.
somebody.
That's exactly what. Dude,
it's the mom instead of the dad.
the font of the title is exactly The Omen. That red on black.
The tagline of the movie is almost exactly like Orphan. Remember that Orphan movie?
Oh God, yes.
Jean-Claude
Which
Sarah.
has a very similar. It has a similar premise until the end, where they just say, "You know what? I bet you ain't expecting this shit. You just thought he's gonna be a bitch kid. Nah, I ain't gonna spoil it. Just
All right. Let's talk.
Let's talk about
Serenity.
the Prodigy. Serenity. All right, we should have started with Serenity.
Yep.
All right, so Serenity, a movie that I was sick and tired of seeing the trailer for, and it was supposed to come out in October last year, and then it got delayed, and I was so fucking upset because I knew I would have to see that trailer.
See that trailer another dozen times.
Which I didn't, luckily, but I thought I would have to. I didn't, which is good. The trailer for that movie, I urge everybody that's listening to this, just watch the trailer, then continue this video. Because if you want a movie, you can't anymore because it's gone already because nobody saw it. But I urge you to watch the trailer once, and then come back and listen to this shit. Because this movie is a game changer.
Oh, it's a game, all right.
Yeah, it's a game changer. It will forever be known as probably the worst movie twist in movie history in my book, but in a great way. Quality wise, it is one of the worst twists easily. Just like when it comes to the quality of like how good it is. Like, oh man, you're not expecting
the twist and then how they follow it up.
And the follow up is really long too. Like the twist happens like an hour in.
The twist is like a little more than halfway through the movie.
Figure out what it is. It's like about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Into the fucking movie.
Okay, Gore. Just say the premise before the twist. What is going on before the twist?
Serenity follows Matthew McConaughey, who plays Dill Pickles, and his name, right? It's something Dill.
Yes.
Dill something. Dill something. Dill, who is he works on a fishing boat. He brings people out into the ocean to fish and stuff.
Charter fishing boat.
And he fishes too and sells the fish. Whatever. He makes his money by fishing and boating and shit. He has Jaimin Hansu there, who's like his wingman, I guess. He's the assistant, who has to pay for his son's college or his grandson's college or some shit. I don't even remember, or his nephew's college. I don't even know. But
someone's college, and he's a male prostitute to get money.
Yeah, he's a yeah.
Well, but he can't catch tuna with a fucking fishing rod, which I don't even know how that shit would work.
Well, he's a hooker that can't afford hooks, as he says to Diane Lane.
Who pays for his sex.
Yeah, she pays for sex with Matthew McConaughey, which is understandable. And after just a little while of him trying to catch this fish he calls Justice.
Justice.
This tuna, this giant tuna, which in the beginning he almost kills two people because he's out on the boat with a couple people that want to fish, and he catches this fish he's been really wanting to get, this tuna, and the people on the boat are like, hey man, we paid for this, we want to try to catch the fish. He's like, no, stay back. He pulls out what is it, a knife? He goes, ah!
Yeah. He pulls out a knife on them and then tries to catch a tuna. He tries to catch probably a 1.5 ton fish with a normal fucking fishing rod.
Yeah, it's like
He's gonna
Jaws.
snap that thing like a twig.
Yeah, which it doesn't because it's a movie, and it's also something else later on.
But the overarching plot is that there's this asshole who's played by Jason Clarke, right?
Yeah, Jason Clarke.
And
The cartoonish, the most cartoonish asshole ever. He just goes.
That was the thing. All the other, all the other side characters were, and I mean, I guess it fits in with the twist, but were like the most generic cliches of their characters.
All right, there's a character.
What's the name? Was the representation of a damsel in distress.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway,
Right.
even the one girl he keeps talking to at the fishing tackle place, she's just like, "Hey, Dill, how you been?"
Yeah.
Like she's
Oh god.
So Anne Hathaway wants Jason Clarke dead because he mistreats her because she's his girlfriend.
Yeah, mistreat. He fucking abuses her.
Matthew McConaughey used to be married to Anne Hathaway, and they have a son that Jason Clarke is mistreating as well. That's the reason why he really cares.
Yeah.
He ends up caring.
So
For most of the movie, he's just like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And then, about 30 minutes later, he's like, I'm not going to do it. And then Anne Hathaway gives him sweet sex, and then he says, all right, I'm going to do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Is it sweet?
Well, he thought it was like.
Oh,
But
isn't that
hesitate?
isn't that the scene where he's quoting Shakespeare? I think right before they have sex or after.
Yeah, it was right before.
Yeah.
Was that before the weird scene where he got naked and went into the water and then chased
that
out
was after.
his naked son in
Oh.
the
No,
water?
that was much earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
I-
He's like,
That's when he first got home, and he's just like, I'm gonna take a shower.
I'm
and
gonna
he
take a
jumped off the
shower.
cliff.
shower and he takes off his
And the
clothes
camera
and
whips and pans around him and
You know,
shit.
yeah, there was two of those. There was that scene, and then when Anne Hathaway shows up in the bar, and both of those shots were just like the most jarring shots of the whole movie.
It's the most
I think I know why those are there, and we have to talk about when we talk about the twist.
The twist, yeah.
Yeah.
But it just took you out of everything that was going on. 'Cause it was just so unexpected and jarring.
Because it looks like it's going it's going fast, like the camera's moving fast, but they slow it down to make
It looks almost like
looks-
it's like a CG type pan.
Yeah.
It looked like some upgrade shit.
but terrible.
Even if he's walking, he's walking like he's being controlled by what was the upgrade character?
Tom
shit.
Hardy?
Statham.
Discount Tom Hardy.
No. I'm talking about the chip in upgrade.
Oh, whatever.
Oh.
Buddy.
I don't know. Buddy, yeah, buddy. It's buddy.
Air Bud.
Stem. Anyway.
Yeah, so
I remember that.
Because I love that movie.
so I think
It's a great movie, but
all
I
right.
can't remember that.
So it's time to get to the twist of Serenity.
All right. No, we have to build it up a little bit more.
Okay.
All right. So the whole point, at least what it seems like the whole point of the first 20 minutes is he wants to go catch this fish.
Yes.
Okay, then it shifts to Anne Hathaway murder thing. Murder, she's a femme fatale, kinda, not really.
She
but
wants
looks
Matthew McConaughey to kill Jason Clarke.
to kill Jason Clarke because he's a top dickhead. All right, so to get him to be killed, they have to put him on the boat, the fishing boat, and
Just push him overboard.
for the sharks. Maybe stab him and throw him for the sharks or something. And the whole movie seems like it's going there, except we randomly see just random little times we see a kid's face looking at a computer screen, just randomly.
Oh.
And just hear his voice randomly
Yeah.
too.
And there's this guy with the business briefcase with him all the time.
Yeah, the Fontaine guy. Yeah.
You're
That-
looking. Kid,
that
just,
dude pissed me off. Like,
What?
he was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he was playing it that way, but he was really bad.
He was like
that
the
way.
G-Man.
But I hate the whole context behind that, where it's like he just ignore. I hate when characters they're I hate when their justification is they just ignore something going on. Like he just happens to walk out. Hey, there's this weird guy like asking about you, and he just walks out. He's like, as if it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
So,
Also, wait. Can I mention really quick before we get into all this?
all right.
Is I heard these motherfuckers for weeks say this twist, this
Weeks?
twist, this
For
twist,
2 weeks.
this crazy twist,
It
this
is.
twist, like just over and over again.
Yeah.
And so the entire time I'm just sitting there wondering. I'm trying to figure out the twist as the movie goes. I'm like trying to figure out where's the twist? Like what's going on? I was trying to run through my head and I'm trying to figure out what this twist is. It was like I saw that guy and he goes like, "Oh, 20 minutes. It should have been 20 minutes ago." I was like, "Oh, is this some time travel shit?"
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
That would make more sense.
trying to figure out what this twist is.
But
Anyway,
I
that's all
was
I wanna
sitting there.
say.
I was
okay.
lucky
I
that I had the theater completely to myself, so I was sitting there at the scene of the twist, and I'm just sitting there, and as he's going across, the guy's going across his lines, I'm like, why is this guy talking like he's some kind of like fucking computer program or some shit? Then the twist, and just out loud in the empty theater, I screamed out loud, "Oh my god!" It just started laughing hysterically.
Well,
I,
all right.
So before we get to the very end, I fell asleep at the very end.
Oh my god.
At the very end, like the very like we're talking like the last like very little bit,
Yeah.
and I got woken up by the theater employee. Because I was the only one in the theater.
The last little bit has one of my favorite.
Yes! Oh my god.
It's
All
so
right.
good.
All right.
No, all right. I want to build it up a little bit because at first,
Jesus.
he's hearing these voices and he thinks it's his son, and even Anne Hathaway's saying like, "Hey, he talks to you when he's playing his computer game. He always talks."
You can hear him if
And
you listen
you
carefully
hear
and shit.
And he hears him. And he's just like, maybe like at first it seemed like, oh, maybe that's the twist, is that he has like some telepathic communication with his son, which would be fucking insane anyway.
Wait.
What?
I hate it. That's a thing,
Oh
and he's
my
there
God.
fucking his mom, and it's like, wait, hold on, you're there.
No, I have something I want to say about that after the twist. There's a few things I want to say about that.
Oh, yeah, we get into it. But then we find out that, and Matthew McConaughey finds this out when the friggin' stupid suitcase dude that comes in and says, "Yeah, I just want to give you a new fish
Fish finder.
finder. Finder. You can find fish. Use this."
Hey, why would
He's
I
like,
need
"All right."
that?
Yeah, why would I need that? I need to go murder Jason Clarke. He's just like, "Hey, you're breaking the fucking rules."
I am the rules.
He says, "I am the rules."
No, but he's saying at first you're not following the rules, and then he says, "I am the rules." And he's just like,
What'd you say?
"What?
He's like, that is the rules.
That's the rules. I'm the rules, son." And it's just like, what the fuck is going on? And then slowly after that, you find out that Serenity, not Serenity, but the island of Serenity. Serenity's the boat, which I don't even know why.
Yeah, the island is Plymouth.
Plymouth. There you go. Plymouth is, and they reveal this in the dumbest way. It's actually a video game that the kid has. He didn't make the video game. He bought this video game, modded it to put the story of his father killing the stepfather, Jason Clarke.
Because in the real world, he is actually, him and his mom are being abused by his stepfather.
So
I love that reveal where they lay out the map. The
Yeah.
map, the map.
He pulls
thing
out
is
like
so
4 different maps.
there's nothing. He never noticed that before, I guess. It's just like he opens a map of like not the whole world, but like a big portion of it. There's nothing around it besides
Yeah.
Plymouth. How do people get
he
here?
pulls out 3 or 4 maps,
Yeah,
not
he does.
just one.
This is like world map.
And they show the video game itself, and it looks like Unity or something.
It looks. It looks like ridiculous fishing.
yeah, it's it looks like
It looks like some Deadliest Catch shit.
So the game itself is just fishing. That's why this guy comes in and says, "Hey man, you gotta follow the rules." So this game is very sophisticated because it has characters that can like have little side things and stuff. And you go, for some reason in this cartoony-looking game, you can go bang Diane Lane.
that was my thing. Well, that was the thing. Like he modded it. So like, at what point did this? I don't care if he's a genius or what. At what point did this arguably 13-year-old, arguably sociopath, go, I want to mod into this game the fact that I could see my dad's ass at any point and make my dad fuck other people at any point that I want.
He can also make himself in the game be naked so that his dad can try to grab him in the water. Some symbols and shit. And
I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, when that twist happened, that's the first thing that popped in my mind. I'm like, so one of the first things this kid modded into the game was his dead, naked dad.
He got a sex mod,
I like how you're just hearing a lot of pent up anger coming out of people right now.
It's not anger. It's like, what the fuck?
It's not anger. It's just you can't say this calmly.
When he was what's his name? Stephen Knight, I think his name is.
Yeah.
When he was writing the script, this is how he was writing it. He was writing it angrily. It has to be. It just feels like, you know what it feels like? It feels like he took a novel, like this is based on some novel or something, and he said, you know what? I've been playing this stupid ass game Skyrim, where you just go around, do whatever you want. You can bang people if you want. You can have some sex in there. But you can go around, shoot people with arrows or whatever. Maybe he's playing Grand Theft Auto. Maybe Grand Theft Auto makes more sense. He's playing Grand Theft Auto. You know what? I like this kind of like noirish style, like kind of country-esque like thriller thing. But I also like murder, and I like video games.
Yeah.
And I like Diane Lane being naked and Anne Hathaway getting fucked on a futon.
If you took...
right now, let's be real. Right now, everything you're saying yourself, you love.
Well, yes, but also...
I'm not arguing, but he's saying that all those don't have place in one script.
Yes.
No.
The thing is, if you took out the video game shit, like, it would be a very basic revenge thriller novel.
Not even I guess revenge. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I mean, it just...
They said,
kills
we
him
want to make the best video game movie ever made.
Because when it starts out, it feels like a trashy, like, early 2000s, like, thriller that would play on TNT or something.
Yeah.
Feels like one where they just, like, they looked at older movies and they narrate to themselves.
And they just wanted to go with all the cliches.
Yeah, the character narrates to himself while looking off in the distance, and there's a femme fatale, and there's a bad dude who's over the top, and he abuses people. Like, oh, we have to get rid of that guy, and it's generic stuff. And they put all this generic shit in there. And there's also like the mystery dude with the briefcase, you know. And they put it all in some fucking dumbass video game plot that is sprinkled with video game stuff, to the point where at the end it turns into that movie Transcendence, where everything's just like fucking. I'm the only I guess you remember. It turns into like digital shit at the end.
And there's stupid things like right after the twist. He goes when he's back in town right after the twist. He goes into the fucking shop, and he's even suspicious in there. And I'm like, all right, you know the guys from the company Fontaine. The fucking 4-foot wide window you just walked past has a 4-foot fucking wide logo of Fontaine on it. And at no point did it strike him as, oh, this is also suspicious because, you know, the guy that said this is a game is from Fontaine. Here's a giant fucking logo. Here's a box with a fucking logo on it. I'm not going to notice that shit.
Yeah, so the twist happens, like Casey said, a little after halfway through the point of the movie. So it keeps going after they know they're in a video game, or Matthew McConaughey knows.
It goes back to Matthew McConaughey going, am I going to do this?
And it's so...
And then he goes, oh, it's a video game.
It gets so fucking weird because of just like, he knows it's in a video game. It gets like, no, just like, it doesn't make fucking sense anything what's going on anymore.
Every character starts acting like a video game character. Like,
yeah. None of them try and just go, you got really drunk last night, and try and just try and explain it away. Every single one of them, as soon as he figures out it's a video game, just go, all right, yeah, it's a game. One of them, I think it's the bar owner, tries to talk about it, and then just gives up halfway and just acknowledges like everyone else.
Well, like the game is going against him. Like there's even like a part where some guy that was mentioned earlier shows up. This kid, he's just like, "Hey, I'm ready to go on your boat trip with you."
Yeah, just shows up in the middle of the fucking cornfield, like fucking Children of the Corn.
When he's about to kill Jason Clarke later, that guy stowed away on it. It's just like, I hope you don't mind. I stowed away on your ship, dill pickles, and then he's just on the ship. And
of which Anne Hathaway immediately goes, "Can we kill him?"
Yeah. Well, at this point, Matthew McConaughey knows it's fucking all fake, so who gives a shit if he sees it anyway? It's like, this is real. He knows he's the only one in this game that knows it's a fucking video game. So he's just like, he doesn't care. There's even a part where Anne Hathaway leaves and she just disappears. She goes, boop, and
what was the whole shit about him going on the other island? You know what I'm talking about? Where he's driving in the car with the radio, and it's talking about this one island that they're not on anymore.
Maybe it's like DLC. Oh, they're hinting at DLC.
It just gets like unfollowable after the twist, really.
This movie might have DLC in the future.
Listen,
although my favorite shot is after the twist, and it's the part that you slept through, Adrian, but it's the best part. Which is after all of that, the son puts himself in the game to reunite with his dad, but he doesn't really do it because he's in a room. So this is all part of some psychotic dream he's having.
Yeah,
he has probably
a mental asylum.
What's his name from Prodigy was jealous of the fucking psychotic, murderous smile that kid gives. Like the smile the kid gives as the movie ends is like some shit that like he's about to murder everyone in that station. Like everyone that he's going to see is going to die.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm like, is this even a game, or are we just seeing a dream of some fucking sociopath who just went on a fucking murder spree?
A kid's dream.
Happening. Like he's playing the game, but he's like in his mind, he's like doing that he's actually not doing in the video game. But they keep showing him like messing with the code, which is exactly how a game works.
I hate that because it just reminds me of all the.
Code in, as you know. But
I hate that because that shot always reminds me of every time you see a news story about a hacker.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, this footage in the next news story, they could just use that picture of him like typing, and you can see the code like in front of him, kind of with a black. But you could still see him like typing away, looking creepy, looking like he's thinking about murdering his stepfather because he's abusive. Which
let's also not forget.
Part. I thought when you said your favorite part happens, I thought your favorite part was going to be right after Matthew McConaughey kills Jason Clarke's character, which by the way is the dumbest shit because they just.
Oh yeah, he does the fucking Prodigy shit too.
So he has the fishing rod, and Jason Clarke at this point has already been beaten up because Djimon Hounsou wanted Matthew McConaughey not to kill him. So to do that,
4 Colombians to break his hand.
He can't fish, but he comes anyway because Anne Hathaway does her thing, and he's on the boat, like beaten up, just messed up. He has his manhood. He has to be there. He's like, no, baby, I could catch a fish. Don't worry about it. And he's on this boat, broken up, and he has the fishing rod. And it's the tuna, the Justice tuna, and he just gets dragged into the water with this giant tuna, and that's how he died. You don't even get to see him like get murdered. He's just like you just see a shot of like a
disappearance in the water,
disappear in the water, and then at the same time, the kid gets up from his computer screen, picks up a knife, I think, and just walks out the room. It stays there for a second, and it comes back, and the knife has blood on it. And I think you can hear Anne Hathaway screaming or something like that.
No. It's the Prodigy. It's Matthew McConaughey leans back and does his fucking victory yell while the camera pans out from real world into video game world.
What a fucking movie, man.
It's great. I love it. This needs to be a movie that is like on the same level as it's not as funny bad as The Room, obviously, because there's some decent acting, but it's on the same level of like just to watch to make fun of.
It's a cluster fucking a half, man.
It's a clusterfuck.
Let me say one positive thing about the movie that doesn't have like an asterisk attached. I liked the setting a lot, and I liked the mood.
And I like Matthew McConaughey's butt.
All 6 times it appeared on screen.
48 times he got naked. He's just like, you know what? Diane Lane's getting naked.
That's what I expect when I write about a video game with my parents in it, just naked.
Yep.
That's so weird.
And fucking other people too.
His dad banged Diane Lane, who's not even like related at all.
We had to create.
Actually, that Adrian, you said
banging.
It didn't connect for me till you said that. But you saying that, it now fully connects with me that he went as far as to literally code not his dad, but code in a part of the game to watch his mom and dad fuck each other.
He watched that. Either that or he had a fantasy. Both are bad. So I think the coding is actually worse, really, because he went really far for his fantasy. Then
I like how he coded in a sex scene in a fishing video game.
Yeah, which, by the way,
like 6 of them.
Which I know this is a kid, but he did a good job of making it seem realistic because Matthew McConaughey lasted maybe 45 seconds. So I'm glad the kid has some experience, I guess.
That was the other thing with those scenes. All of them went on for like. I'm fine with having a sex scene movie, but all those scenes went on for like an uncomfortably long time.
Yeah, that sex scene was weird. Like that, and also every time he shows up to Diane Lane, who is the most useless character I think I've ever met.
She just gives him money.
Yeah, I would
No,
expect
she's
more to
not
come of her.
useless.
Does nothing
She's not
happen?
useless. She gives
she
the
looks-
Find My Cat side quest.
Yeah, that's the cat side quest. You find my cat and you fuck me. Like that's the
It's a
side
literal side quest.
game. It's a side quest. Find the cat and you get the fuck Diane Lane. You get the fuck Superman.
Yeah, the meta stuff in this movie is just gone off the deep end. It's really stupid. Like
I would
that's
say Diane Lane looked good.
sure. She's old.
There's also some doctor on the island that we never meet.
Oh yeah,
You know, every 5 minutes they allude to him, like, "Hey, maybe we should call Dr. Peeps or whatever it was."
Doctor.
It was something like that. It was like Dr.
That's the
Peps
DLC
or
quest.
something.
yeah, it's a deal.
Yeah, and it kept alluding to it, and then like the bartender finally calls him, and then Matthew McConaughey runs out and he just hangs up the phone. I'm like, "Are we ever gonna meet the doctor?"
I think that's probably just alluding to the game thing. Like that's actually like like the rules guy that shows up.
The
and, like,
rules.
summary.
Oh no, but I'm just like, you can't reference this guy every 10
Yeah.
to 15 minutes and then not actually have him in the movie.
It's like a big name cameo. It's like Will Smith shows up. He's like, "Hey man,
He's
I
the
heard
Genie.
you,
Yeah, the genie shows up.
yeah, the Genie. Yeah, which would make sense now. He's a video game character. He looks like a video game character in the fucking movie. So yeah, this movie's insane. I would love to talk about it for another 2 years, but
We
There's
got it.
also when he
Back.
walked-
Go back
he-
1 year
when
from
he
now.
walked
Let's
in-
flex on it.
yeah,
No,
You know
there's
what?
also right after they put the right after the woman Anne Hathaway put the hit out on Jason Clarke. He goes to the fishing shop and the woman there just goes, "Yeah, I heard she got he beat her bad last night. Yeah, like 6:40 p.m. with the belt 13 times." I'm like, "All right, you didn't hear me because did he hear it or did he watch it? Because this just went from a rumor to very, very specific in a few seconds."
well, yeah. I guess a bunch of that's one thing Stephen Knight kind of got right is how side characters will always know what you just did like immediately.
Yeah, but it was like it was 6:40 last night. He hit her 13 times. But she held on. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
It's one of those
Yeah.
things where you wonder if he thought it was intentional, like, oh, this is how video game characters act, or if it was just bad writing. Like,
It's
Both.
yeah, both. But anyway,
It was
Adrian,
bad
what was that?
writing because he thought that's how it worked.
okay.
What were we gonna say, Adrian?
How we always try to watch a bad movie for Christmas. We should watch Serenity. Or
Which Serenity? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. It's a good movie to just watch.
we
with
should.
people.
We should.
We
Hey,
also didn't watch Tom Green for New Year's this year.
Yeah, we didn't.
yeah,
we
we gotta bring that up.
Jamie Kennedy, you mean? That
Yeah.
one?
Oh
Or
yeah,
Jamie
Jim.
Kennedy. Yeah,
Um,
they're both washed up.
we should, if this podcast is doing well, it's still up to them. We should actually do a rough tracks of Serenity.
It's not doing well right now.
Got a
Watch
few
it,
hundred
sir.
views. I don't know. It's pretty decent.
What the fuck was that?
No one watches this.
All
That's all
right.
me. I just keep.
Let's.
I mean, we should do that anyway. We should just
Yeah.
do that for our own fucking entertainment.
Yeah, we'll do Serenity. It's a great movie. I think you should go see it if it's in your dollar theater near you. At this
in
point.
your mall
Yeah,
theater.
no,
It's definitely worth seeing.
Speaking of
because that
disasters, Fire. It's all
Fire.
about a disaster.
Alright,
A,
we don't need to
a
talk
real
about
life
this.
disaster.
Can we just sum up the review by just saying fuck Billy McFarlane and you know what,
Yeah.
half fuck Ja Rule.
Oh, the thing with Fyre is.
No, Ja Rule was just as bad. 'Cause he's
Yeah.
one of my favorite
That's like
lines. Everyone's like
full
talking about the blowjob thing and stuff. One of my favorite lines from the whole thing is Ja Rule after everything when they have their first meeting after Fyre. Is he's in there and they're like, "This is fraud." He's like, "It's not fraud. It's just let's
Oh.
call it false advertising."
and then, and then
that is fraud.
yeah. Ja Rule seems like a very intelligent man, okay? And he's successful. We ain't, so fuck. But and one thing I will say about Ja Rule though is that at least he came out and said something after. Like he said, "Yeah, blame me. I take the brunt of it because I'm more popular than Billy fucking McFarlane when it comes to he has a career. Billy McFarlane's in jail, but
Billy McFarlane decides I'm being investigated by the FBI. I should do it again.
you know what? I can rip people off even better this time by giving them deals on shit they don't even have. but which is ridiculous. That part was even worse than the Fyre Festival.
I was
at
laughing so hard through
the
that.
people who were talking about him during the movie made it seem like he wanted to have this Fyre Festival. He actually wanted to have this, and he was actually trying. He was even there during Fyre Festival, but the thing he was doing later, where he was really just scamming people completely.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know why he had that stuff recorded. Are you that fucking stupid that you would have that record? Why did he have that recorded? He asked people to record that.
It's an ego trip.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if it was successful, so he can put it up and say, "Look, I scammed everybody." Like,
No, it's more of something for him to look back on, like when he has all the money. Like, yeah, I want to remember all the work and how great it was when I first got all this money.
I would say it's more like just for
Ego.
attention.
ego. Yeah. Well, he's a piece of shit. I'm glad he's in jail. But Ja Rule.
You didn't want to go to
I
Fyre Festival? You're the kind of
Huh?
person that would go to Fyre Festival.
No, I don't like music. Why the fuck would I go?
He doesn't like music or crowds
Or parties.
Why would he
It's like
go there?
music or crowds or any of the
tent.
people that would be at Fyre Festival or traveling or planes or beaches.
or lettuce and cheese sandwiches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck gourmet.
The weird thing about this documentary and the other one that was on Hulu is
I didn't watch Hulu.
I
this
want to watch that one.
this whole story like only happened a few years ago, and I think like everyone knew
2 years.
the brink of it, right?
I think it was 2 years, right? Wasn't it 20?
Like it was a big
No,
story
most-
when it happened.
no, most people knew about like how it failed and everything, and some of the stuff going on, but not anywhere near as much information as the documentaries gave out.
Unless you actively dug around for it, you know
Yeah.
the
Which you could say that about any documentary, though.
But it feels
Like,
like a lot of people have been like,
About any documentary, then a lot of documentaries are probably not really too enlightening. I'm sure there's
like,
a lot of documentaries.
Honestly, like most of the stuff leading up to them like getting building on the island, like not many people knew about unless you actually looked into it.
I never knew that it wasn't on that first island because I only saw like pictures of
Yeah.
the tents and the cheese.
Yeah, same actually.
Yeah, same. I thought it was.
I
still
thought they
that
always
original
made it to the
island.
island.
I thought it was on the fucking Pablo Escobar island, and I never knew it wasn't. It was on some shitty. By the way, let me just say that was the shittiest looking island out there.
Well, it wasn't even an island. It was a fucking.
Well, it's called an island.
It was an area, yeah, and it wasn't even Pablo Escobar's island.
and it was like a really populated one too.
The first one they were supposed to go where they filmed all the shit was supposedly one of those.
No, they were told to stop saying that. But they made it up that it was Pablo Escobar's island. It wasn't his island.
That's why they couldn't go on that island because they kept saying.
Because they kept saying it, and you're like, stop saying that. It's not true.
Yeah, and it's I like in the documentary they were saying like you have to stop saying it's Pablo Escobar's island, and then the video plays
Yeah,
where
the
it's
owners are getting pissed off.
Very first trailer.
Pablo Escobar's island on the fucking video.
That's one thing. If you want to see it sound entertaining, it only I think at like middle of last week it finally got released. They released I think it was 46 panel slideshow that Billy used to get investors in for Fyre. And like some of them are like it's worth glancing over. You don't have to read it, but some of the slides are fucking amazing. Like one of them has just like the generic words like create, innovate, and like stuff like that. And it gives no explanation to anything that they're going to be doing, and yet still this is like one of the slides that won everyone over. And I'm just looking at like, what the fuck does this even mean? I'm like, it's generic words on the screen. It doesn't say explain anything about how they build it.
Side note, was it planned for Netflix and Hulu to release their documentaries on this? Like,
I don't think Hulu even
Netflix, yeah, Hulu.
Hulu announced for the show.
A shadow drop.
No, Hulu was supposed to be a TV series, not a TV series, but like a mini series. That's what was like announced at first, I believe.
Yeah, and then they just dropped it with like not really any warning 5 days ahead
And
of
they
time.
made it a movie.
Yeah. And they made it into a movie. So
Yeah.
I guess it was probably.
You think they saw Fyre being released as a documentary and they just shoved it all in?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They kind of went into panic mode.
Yeah, because Netflix didn't announce Fyre until like 2 weeks before it even came out. Like it was just like
the only advancement Hulu had was that they had they had to get it because they actually paid Billy to interview him, and Netflix refused to pay him. So they knew like Netflix had done. I think a lot of people were saying Netflix did more research and got more information. So I think Hulu knew they have to drop it ahead of time or they're going to lose out.
So
I'm sure that interview is not enlightening. It's probably
So-
more.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
I still want to watch it, but Kyle, does the Hulu Fyre Festival one? It's Fyre Prod.
Yeah.
Does that one? Does it still? Is it still coherent or is
I
it still
didn't fucking
kinda
watch
choppy?
it. The fuck?
I thought you still watched it.
No.
Oh, so none of us watched the Hulu one.
No. No one
No.
cares.
Oh,
about
I
the
still want to
Hulu
watch that one.
No, it's
I really want to
Well,
watch
I heard
it.
a lot of it's the same kind of stuff, just with a few interviews.
Yeah. Well,
It felt like one of those like really long YouTube like retro. What do you call it? Retrospective videos?
Yeah, and there's some of them for the Fyre Festival already.
yeah, I think this one did a good job though.
It did a fine
I-
job, yes.
It was-
I will say, I fell in love with it 10 minutes in, where he says, if the ladies want to see the fucking pigs, let's take them to see the fucking
yeah,
pigs.
that was Ja Rule. Was such fucking god damn. It was like if they want to see the fucking pigs, we're gonna show them the fucking.
see the
pigs.
fucking pigs.
Let's go, Ja Rule.
Why do they fucking have pigs there anyway? What, is it supposed to be fire? But like fire festivals gonna just have pigs
They're
everywhere?
native there.
There's
I know they're
sacrifice them.
native there, but like, is that supposed to be like a thing? Oh, they have pigs. I'm going now. Like,
No,
it's
that,
like,
that
out of
actually is. It hit the point where last year they banned people from visiting those islands because it was just so many people there and there was so much litter and stuff that they had to put a temporary ban on people visiting the pigs.
visiting the pigs.
It's one of the most ridiculous things, but it's 100% true. They had to ban people from seeing wild pigs.
You know what? It's good that it wasn't on that
Now
island.
they just go to Congress.
People were like starving and stuff.
God
They,
damn,
they might have
Adrian.
eaten those. It's good it wasn't on the fucking same island.
God damn it. You're so
Anyway.
proud of yourself, that fucking
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to think of how to link that together.
I didn't hear any of it. No
He
sense.
said for pigs, you can just go to Congress, and he's just really proud of himself for saying that.
Oh.
Yeah. I could have made a fat joke somewhere in there, but I
Yeah,
was like,
you
nah,
could go to
that's-
Comic Con. That would have made more sense.
That's rude.
That's true. Well, colorful pigs because they cosplay. Yeah. Talented pigs.
Fire.
It's a Lego movie too.
Yeah, that's Fire. It was a decent documentary on
I
it.
liked it a lot. I love
Really.
I like documentary. I like seeing just fucking dumpster fires, and I like retrospectives. So it was a good little package there for me. I liked it a lot.
Good little. It's good.
All right. Well,
It's
guys gonna give,
it's good.
You guys want to give a quick
It's fine.
review of Lego Movie 2?
yes.
Yeah, because I haven't seen it. I don't know if Adrian saw it.
I'm just
I'll
do
watch it.
general
It's-
opinions because I know me and Gore have different ones on them.
I didn't fucking like it. I liked it. All right, what's the next movie?
This is the last one. See, the
all
thing.
right,
that was it, because one of us hasn't seen Polar yet.
Yeah. Wait, Kyle, you saw Polar?
Nope.
All right, two of us hasn't seen
Two of
Polar.
us haven't then.
Yeah. All right, so Lego Movie 2. I liked the first one a lot.
Yep.
I loved it. It was
Yep.
great. It
Yep.
got robbed for not being nominated.
Everything is awesome.
Yep.
And they want you to remember that song in this movie. Let me tell you.
Oh,
Oh man,
God.
does it do that thing where they like really try to
No, they
pull back?
don't play it.
Yes.
They don't
No.
No, they don't play the song. They just
They
mention
They
everything.
just reference it a lot.
They make a new song that's just supposed to be like, because everything is awesome, was great, not just because it was a fun song, obviously, but
Everything
because it
is
plays.
awesome, was
That
awesome.
Lonely Island performance was amazing.
Well, they have another one, and I know you don't like this one, Kyle, but I really like Lonely Island's credit song. They have a credit song that's really good. If you listen to the lyrics, it's really funny. But
Because my number one pet peeve in a lot of movies is when they have such a good joke in the first one. And there was some egregious example of this recently. I forget which.
they have
one.
a couple of.
They do that a pretty good amount, where they repeat the same joke from the first movie.
Well, they do, but they're kind of like quick gags, like just like little things that like the spaceship guy. He really likes the
Here's a spaceship.
He
I
does,
don't know,
he does it like once, but that's his character too. So like he
That's
just
the
came out
problem I have with this fucking
now,
movie,
like-
though. The
that they're all Lego characters. They
no,
have
the
one
problem I
to-
have with the problem I
side
have
characters.
with Lego Movie 2 is that it is exactly more of the same of the Lego Movie. And the Lego Movie was great, but it came up with the whole creative concept of we're going to have all these Lego sets, all these Lego franchises, all these things combining together into some really amazing, like, insane fucking cohesive fucking movie, right?
Yeah.
And this movie does the same thing. It has the same characters. All the new ones are not that interesting, I don't think.
I like that. I like the Changer one, the one
It
voiced
was
by in way too many fucking movies. I forgot.
it
her name.
was well
Just-
animated. I thought it was neat how they animated her, but also
Yeah, I thought that was really awesome.
another thing with this movie is it has like a whole bunch of musical numbers, like a whole bunch.
There's like 4.
And the movie's really chaotic and noisy in the way that the first movie wasn't, and it just makes me really feel like this movie was made for kids first and foremost.
There's like one song that's really nice.
Well, no, not just the not just the music, the movie in general. It's just chaotic, like to the extreme, and not in the way that the first movie was like, oh yeah, like it feels like a sugar rush or something. It feels like an overdose, right? It just feels like too much. It feels like way too much.
I would say that for a couple, like the beginning of the movie is kind of dull. Like I would say the first like 15-20 minutes, and then it really starts to pick up with what you expect from a Lego movie, especially
But that's
the
the
first
thing.
Lego movie.
It's what you expect. It's everything you would expect a sequel to be, whereas the first movie was not what I expected it to be. It did
Well, it was
everything
the
that it
first-
could have possibly been. But there's a...
That was the first movie. You didn't know what to expect, period, because it's the
And
first
they went in a really radical, different way than what I think most people would have expected from a Lego movie. That's about as fucking, like, childish as a fucking brand you could get to make a movie out of. That seems like something that adults would not really care for. That
Lego-
seems like for kids.
Legos are very popular with adults. I mean, that's why they make all these giant
especially-
Legos.
I mean, they made the freaking Hogwarts. The Hogwarts set is like the biggest Lego set they've ever made, and that's sold out in no time.
Yeah, there's people that
Yes,
love
for
those.
man
Like, they
children,
love
yes.
the Lego sets. And Lego sets are cool, especially the big ones.
The
where
Lego
you just-
Movie one...
Well, the models
Models
stuff,
are-
yeah, that sells huge for adults.
Yeah, that's for adults. The regular Legos where you just get a bunch of fucking bricks and go make a tower or some shit. I don't know. You're like, you can't really. As a kid, when I was a kid, I would just make like giant cylinders, except they were square, so they weren't cylinders, but they were just like these just big things, and I'd just be like, all right, and I make a bigger
The
one.
first movie had a
Alright, cool.
real smart, subversive edge to it that this movie did not capture at all. It just replicated.
It had, yeah, I was about to say, it had the same subversive edge, except it was the same one. So there wasn't anything new about it, but I didn't feel like there should have really been anything that new about it. It has the same stuff you would expect from if the first movie just kept going on. If it kept going on for another hour and a half, then this would be where it probably would go. You know, just like it starts where the last one ended, exactly where it ended, and that's.
It's a movie all about trying to say you should be really creative. You should be able to express yourself. That's the whole thing with Emmett. This one, and it's the same, plot as the first one.
Oh, the first one was a little different. The first one ended up being you should take time. Well, all right. The first one ends with the whole live action bit with Will Ferrell and his son, and that ends up being more like what was what was the message again?
The
Because
message.
he even says he stops and looks at the business guy and he's just like, maybe you should just love or something or whatever. And it's just like that was really the message, being a team or whatever.
No, the message of the first movie was to be creative and to be able to express yourself,
Oh,
because the whole point of the Emmett in the first movie.
No, I get that, but it wasn't just it was about a son and a father. The father was more strict and stuff. I get that. It's about.
But that doesn't really play into its themes.
It does, because it's about a kid and his father, so it's still about how they're.
That's
not,
the metatextual thing that ties it all together.
That's why there's so little of the what was I gonna say? I don't really want to talk about this movie too long, but that's why in the first movie there was the whole moments where you see little bits of the reality kind of come in, where you see or you hear someone going brrr or whatever, just little noises that a kid would make, because it's supposed to be just a kid playing by himself. So I felt like it wasn't just be creative. That's it. The first movie was about don't be so strict. Have some fun. Not just be creative. You don't even need to be creative. You can just have fun. Don't always be a stick in the mud.
Sure.
Which is
but that's what the second.
That's what it felt more like.
But the second movie says the exact same thing. It does the
But
same
it does in
human
a way,
noises and all
which
that
I
stuff.
can't spoil, obviously, but it does in a different way.
Mm.
It
In
does.
a superficial way.
I didn't feel like it was superficial. A little bit less dramatic than the first one, sure. And it felt more like they were just taking off a box where like we have to have something like this in there.
And I think that goes against any of its
a lot-
own messages.
It does. I'm not saying it's better than the first one though. I'm saying it's still a good movie just because the little message that was in there is similar to the first one doesn't mean it still didn't do
But
that.
a whole lot of this movie is the same. Like a lot of it, not just the message.
When I compare movies to like this animated movie to something like I don't know, fucking Sherlock Gnomes. Like I have to sit here and tell you that this movie did try. It's not just we have to do the same thing and that's it. That's all. That's the bottom line. That's it. We don't need to do creative jokes or anything, and that's it. I can't say that's all it was. It's just like the bottom of the barrel of humor because there was a lot of clever gags in there, a lot of good sight gags that worked, and a lot of really beautiful scenes with the Legos where they made it make sense with the Legos, how Legos would really interact with certain environments. Like they didn't cheat and make it so that the water was actually water. They made it so that the water was all Legos. You know, just visually it looks great, and I like the creativity of like the changing the queen character that changes into a bunch of different stuff. And I even like that music number. I don't care. And I think the voice acting is great. I think there's a lot of really good stuff that you could say wasn't as good as the first one, and you'd be right. But I still think it has a lot of heart, and it's a fun movie. I don't think it's great. I thought How to Train Your Dragon 3 was better, but I still think this is definitely worth it, especially now where there's like fucking nothing besides maybe Cold Pursuit. That's the only movie that's out now that I would say is like worth seeing, but you can't bring kids to see Cold Pursuit. So
Cold Pursuit is great.
Yeah, you should bring your kids to see Cold Pursuit, but you know
They won't get half the jokes, but they'll love it.
Yeah, they'll love it. There's murder. It's fine. They like murder.
So I just want to say, while you guys were talking, I just went on Facebook. The first 21, I counted the first 21 posts on my timeline are all news articles. All of them are about Aladdin. All of them are about Genie.
Yeah, of course.
None of them are nice.
No, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of nice ones.
No.
None of them. Most of the articles are summed up as "that was something" or "oh no."
Yeah. So anyway, Kyle, I get it. It's more about what you think is funny and creative. And if you don't think this movie's funny and creative, that doesn't mean someone else won't think it's funny.
Guys,
Hold on.
Let me finish. I'm going.
We're gonna talk about it again next week, so don't get like fucking.
Yeah.
I just want to say this because we're next week.
I would say like a fucking 2-minute fucking review from both you guys.
You know
talk
better
about
than that by now,
I know
Adrian.
that next week we're gonna talk about. We're like, yeah, it was funny. Kyle was wrong. So that's what's gonna happen.
Gonna do that.
I know you two are gonna like it. I know it's a likable movie. It's likable. I'm sorry, it is. But I'll say this. You know what? I rather watch Serenity than this. There you go.
Yeah. So would I. I'll say this. Best cameo ever.
The cameo was great, and I don't want to spoil it, but let me just say that cameo, best performance that actor has given in a very long time. So there you go.
Deduce that one.
Well, don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, we're not gonna say. And also, the banana. Fuck that. That was stupid. See that's where it all comes together. And I'm like, this is a movie for children.
That's where it all comes together. The banana is really what sealed the deal.
Yeah.
It's there for like three scenes.
They do it. But that's all he is.
Like,
it's just the same joke over and over.
Yeah, I know.
Just
See,
like Adrian said.
banana. He goes, oh, I'm tripping everywhere. There you go. Anyway, yeah, we're
all right. Lego Movie 2. We're done. What are we watching next week?
Fantastic quick review from both.
No, you didn't say quick review.
All right, so next week we're gonna talk about Lego Movie 2.
I'm sorry. First of
We'll
all,
get in depth with GorTheMovieGod and Kyle XY. We're gonna talk about Polar.
Sorry, I want to talk about
Alita Battle Angel. Talk about Happy Death Day to You.
Cold Pursuit.
And
Cold Pursuit.
We need to talk about Cold Pursuit.
Yeah. We'll just talk about all the movies Adrian wants to talk about for 20 minutes next time. No, we talked about a movie that just came out for 10 minutes.
Talk about the banana.
We talked about a more
That.
popular movie. 10 minutes.
Talk about the crazy ass cameo and like a movie.
Fire. Fucking no one's even talking about it anymore. He talked about the banana. He talked about goddamn banana.
I'm excited again. It talks to GorTheMovieGod and Kyle is talking about the
Goddamn
banana.
banana.
Alright guys. See you guys all next week.
I liked it.